All right, so as for you, if we once again about if you can say so Pinaxtv, there's a lot of things are so our Ghana, and then these particular things are no. We are bringing you exclusive updates on all of these things. But then breaking news are kind such as parties the Ghana Army, the branch are on more pursue the Navy, another omunya marine per se, but the Navy or more Ghana Army or more pursue more say your borders are well no be secured. No, we are learning say they have started seizing certain people or more transporting illegal goods on the ship, and certain ships have been seized. The Brunei because a bunk train. You better bring updates because on Ghana's border, the northern border, no, we had an issue where Mahamas deployed military soldiers there. If you're following us on this particular platform, we told you earlier, say, Burkina Faso soldiers be able PMU our Ghana border, and yet sure more MH in Mahama, any a Burkina Faso Kasai, Amasa Burkina soldiers no, ye do go back. According to the Burkina soldiers, omo argument was that na omo ye patrol and omo ye no be Ghana, your forest lim. Now, far from that too, yeah, that's sorry, yeah, your border now a war the voter parts in Sona no voter lake hall and a year the border we share with Togo. We are learning say a bit more air transport illegal things. Some is oil, a year vessels. Vessels no soon it could contain guns and certain things. So these are huge questions. They've seized about 2 or so ships, and some people have been arrested. Together with Ofori-Atta, updates we are learning that the family members of Ofori-Atta are deeply worried, and they've started talking to Ambassador Victor Smith and the Attorney General. Their question is if Ofori-Atta comes to Ghana, would he be safe? So these together with many other things, and updates right here on this particular platform, the 17th of January 2026. Now let's hit on the high note. Mino Kasasisiano, Ken Ofori-Atta, he is in the US. Yes, Ken Ofori-Atta, Ghana's former minister, he is in the US currently. Now, seeing a Bremo update, he's facing deportation because according to ICE, which stands for Immigration Custom Enforcement, that's Immigration Custom Enforcement, abbreviation ICE, US, party Ken Ofori-Atta, manifesta somewhere last year, May 2025. And now visa near the man near visitors visa. So visitors visa no, it is eligible and that's valid for only 6 months. So somewhere the 29th of November 2025 in the expire. But then expire no, he did not seek extension, and even before the expiration no, citizen, he was still in the country. Fast track January and fast track December and fast track January. 2 months, almost 2 months after the visa and expire no, and abrofui ICE Immigration Customs Enforcement or much in the gate no or much in the detention center. We are learning say obe appear before court because Ofori-Atta has hired some of the best lawyers in the United States. A former Attorney General in US. But the big issue is that the family members of Ken Ofori-Atta, they started reaching out, and from Ghana's ambassador to the US, Ambassador Victor Smith, or the same Betuja said Gabby Okyere who called him to say now the whole thing about Ken Ofori-Atta is a bit messy. But the big question you see Bisani say Akufo-Addo any or no Gabby Okyere if they allow Emma Ken Ofori-Atta eba Ghana, would he be safe? Would he be treated fairly? Because yare no to prison near up and down obebu na sam yenko tie sama Ambassador Victor Smith edituja. According to Ambassador Victor Smith or party say pauno ni outlook no any sena nsam ne koni de or you very sure say America for and now say ICE no they will deport Ken Ofori-Atta. So utie sama na ebi mo kraka ebi mu to say certain pundits no much sanke beyanka Ken Ofori-Atta onye the Brunei friend is a self-deportation. But then you go to Ambassador Victor Smith in summer or the two job bra now it is on TV3 for air to trim come yeah babaka. We have more updates on this particular issue.
But Ambassador Smith, let's just get the context right, because what you said has actually been the basis for yes, please.
Yeah, let me be very clear here. You remember I first of all wanted to go visit Ken Ofori-Atta just to see whether he had any concerns or whatever. But I indicated a short while ago that some friends or relatives of his, I'll be very specific. I had a call from Gabby Okyere. He expressed that worry. And I assured him that he will have to go through the due process. I mean, everybody goes through a due process of law. So they're not going to be like, people are not going to attack him. We don't behave like that. He and that Ken himself, by his own doings, being evasive with the OSP arrest, have created this brouhaha around his case. So that is the point. So don't let nobody get me wrong. It was not my own view. It was a view expressed by Gabby Okyere, who is a relative of his. He made a call to me, and I said, I wanted to have an opportunity to assure him that he would have to go through the due process like anybody else goes through the due process. So that anxiety, the fear and everything was expressed by Gabby.
I see. So Gabby Okyere called you that Ken Ofori-Atta
yes, he did. He thinks that his problem is that he's not sure how he'll be handled or whatever. And I said, listen, I mean, this country, nobody, you go through a due process, and that is what the Attorney General has told me. And I had wanted to communicate that to Ken if I had the opportunity to meet with him.
And after that assurance given to Gabby Okyere, who made that call to you,
you don't need that assurance.
Did that seem to have addressed those concerns of apprehension when you spoke to him?
No, I mean, well, he knew that, he communicated. I don't know whether he has spoken to Ken, but it looks as if he was not communicating with Ken. He was in Accra and he made that call. Okay, and he thinks that is. He thinks that is the worry that his cousin has. And I said, who's going to harass him? He has to go through a process. When he arrives, and the Attorney General had told me that he'll be taken through the due process, like anybody else.
See. Thank you for this very important clarification, because then it also, brings another layer of context to the issue. I'll come back to
So that was Ambassador Victor Smith. He is the person, as you see, and between Ghana and the US, ambassador. I remind you, this man up until some time ago, I think last year, December 2025, Obmiti President Donald Trump, and according to BBC and CNN reports, Trump actually liked him. Amongst all the ambassadors I know shown from Africa, he liked Ambassador Victor Smith. Now, Ambassador Victor Smith is also saying, there's pressure from the Akufo-Addo family, because the question of Mubisa necessity and Ken Ofori-Atta, Ojemu no kase obe self-deport obe Ghana, would we treat him fairly? Ena sansemna ena ama Imani Ghana or Vice President Kofi Benson or the Ababetu just say this Ken Ofori-Atta, he's not above the law, he's also not below the law. Now, one thing that was out here saying is if Ken Ofori-Atta really wants to evade justice, Trump ton citizenship, if any Trump gold card, and that's the US gold card, and at the other $1 million, it will fast track you to become a citizen of the United States of America, which Ken Ofori-Atta can buy. But the issue here is Sisian or yes, Adiana at the whole channel. Like whatever happens in this ACR, I will say you take charge and I say charging or at the whole channel for years and years and years. I just say it will still be there. In continue sama Kofi Benson edit to Babaka. We continue.
Let me tell you some things which are matters of fact, 100% fact. If Ken wants to run away, okay, today in America you can buy citizenship. In America, if they say Ken is corrupt and as rich as he is, okay, if you invest a certain amount of money in America, they will give you citizenship. Today, there's something called the Trump Gold Card.
Yes.
It's worth $1 million, $1 million.
You think Ken Ofori-Atta can afford that?
I didn't say so. I let me make my point. I didn't say. I'm saying there are matters of fact. With 10 million cedis today, if Ken doesn't have it, Ken has enough friends who can mobilize that for him. He can buy a Trump gold card and stay there. Yeah, and the third one, let me finish. The third thing, which is very, very important, Ambassador Smith will tell you, today, if ICE picks you up and says that you are living in the States illegally, in fact, there's a program in the States where they will give you money to self-deport, about $3,000 or so. If you opt to self-deport, they will actually give you money to leave the country, and people have picked it. So today, Ken can say, I don't want to be in the States anymore. I want to self-deport. And he will self-deport to a non-extradition treaty country. Another country which doesn't have extradition treaty with Ghana.
But you need a visa.
Oh, please, you don't, counsel. If you go, you can go to their place and given all the things, they just go onto the internet, they'll see all the things that are happening with Ken. And they'll admit it. My point is this. There are other ways that Ken can abscond and try and run away from justice. We who are close to him are telling you that. We think what Ambassador Smith just said is the truth. Ken would like to come. Okay? He is not above the law. So we are not asking for special treatment. But what would it take for us to facilitate his coming so you subject himself to these things? And that's why I asked some of those questions that I asked. In certain places, they even do, they flip witnesses. A guilty person will be flipped to testify against another person. This AG is doing it. Okay? In certain places, they will give some guarantees. Okay? In fact, in the case of Escobar, who is an extreme criminal, they allowed him to build his own prison. Okay? So we should start thinking about ways that we can, find accommodation with Ken to get him to calm down. He is not above the law, but he's also not beneath the law. Okay? And if what we want is to try him, go ahead and try him. If what we want is to bring him bodily here, let us arrange something with him to assuage his apprehensions, because he actually has options. And clearly, based on what Ambassador Smith is saying, this is not a run-of-the-mill ICE case. If it's a run-of-the-mill ICE case, he may be sent to Ghana tomorrow. Okay, ICE does not need anybody's permission to do that. They can just throw him out of the place. Okay, so I think we should approach this Ken matter a bit differently from a normal arraignment.
According to a year, Kofi Benson, no patch say the way a year treaty Ken Ofori-Atta and Sem, say NDC has an ill motive. Basically, no, for without the Ronibe can say a fair trial. And according to him, no, that is exactly why Ken Ofori-Atta no, because the Sowato so one of their toes wouldn't say, oh, yeah, but it's a particular political party. Almost score political points in Tino. Yeah, chill. Ye jailu. So in 2028, the bear campaign, ya catch a man say there was a certain minister not corrupt. Ya chino. No. Meanwhile, that was not the case. So according to Kofi Benson, no, the way I treat it in same way, no, we need to be very careful. We need to be very careful the way we are treating Ken Ofori-Atta's case, because even or can be Bukra or Sauti or part of Ken Ofori-Atta. In fact, if you don't know, per me in some urban research, Ken Ofori-Atta has a valid visa to Canada. Canada visa never expire in 2032. Or valid visa to a year UK. The UK visa will expire somewhere 2028 or 2029. So Ken Ofori-Atta can say, so, okay, based on all that aforementioned, me deported myself. I'm self-deporting to UK or Canada. And mind you, UK or my newspaper friend the Telegraph, 3 months ago, seen a reporting right on this particular platform. They brought out a release saying that Mahama is going after his political opponent, T3 and Ken Ofori-Atta, because Ken Ofori-Atta wants to run for president. So it is opening a new layer. Say NPP as a party, no, omo try by me in 2024, omo failure, no. They had in mind, said they wanted to bring Ken Ofori-Atta. So clearly, Ken Ofori-Atta has a record any good, no. And I may say, or you see an MP before, omo sound studio minya babe cheba umia any kin in Japan. But then in reality, according to UK newspaper and Telegraph, no party Ken Ofori-Atta wanted to contest president. And na Mahama say, yeah, according to them, no, Mahama air tartan. So clearly, Ken Ofori-Atta can actually self-deport to UK. And UK is actually going to treat him with kid gloves. One of the things also who said Ken Ofori-Atta UK and not in no school. Ken Ofori-Atta school UK. He's highly respected and also revered in UK. So in some media the options, so in as much as Ghana your options, so Ken Ofori-Atta also has a variety of options, especially if he makes the case say at the end of the day, the Ghana 4 year, they just want to, try him and persecute him. And the Brunibeka say political persecution. So that is exactly what is really going on now. Ultimately, you could see there are issues. Issues now on the Bible. So same way and air course so saying OBI then air can once. We will be giving you more updates on this particular issue because in some day and at the end of the day we are also making sure that we are following all of these cases because I was here checking the air course, and that is the issue air course currently in our country. It's moving on, but once again, be alive into a video where you can bring in your comments. We'll gladly read it for you and see the next major update. Sam Kaka says, a soldier for or more Ghana no or Makwaku Sizi certain ships, yes, certain ships in the country, and this is all because of a year tip of beer military. Ghana's military omunya sa tip of ne sen kofobi edi agrobone ewo Ghana yensuo no so. I just said they are bringing in certain things into the country, and me know kasi according to them, no part say they are very alarming. Knowing say Mahama kasi obi biara obi be say the country Ghana will come at you with this full military force. So you better caught into this particular issue because a issue honestly most of you are more sure I believe say based on breaking news by you guys want to know more details into this particular issue. All right, so as we said, currently, Ghana, your border, no so Ayeshi because of information, Ayensa can see. Now, only say Ghana and your border, no, we have land border, we have air. Your border, no, is basically in 3 trenches and in 3 groups. A be air, we saying airspace. The Ghana, our border also consists of an airspace. By land, no, we have a land area, no, so your border, a bit for land, Abba Ghana. Aside from that, you will see a bit my the so Abba Ghana. Usually in soon over the southern parts of the country. What I say and but according to information I can see na part say uko yensu no so a bimu started air transporting certain illegal things into the country. Some people have started transporting certain illegal stuff into the country, and we are learning say this particular illegal stuff are yanum for Eddie Bakrunumuno, ama a Ghana Navy for Omaya. In a minute, in Sema, the Ghana Navy in Krata or Modiaba out, and I said press release or Modiaba, and even one in our Masan so Ediakoma Ebimu say any person Obibiara Obe try say will you test Ghana's law. The country will also test you in its own accord. Now, I am saying because in some the AP. So quickly, let us put this on the screens. But before then, more name the air course in terms of a preview. You can't Ghana in Siona. So now show on the screen. This is how the Ghana's border is with a US carrier, but then this is how usually our maritime, and as our sea borders. These are the type of ships a patrol hull to make sure it protects us. So we'll come back to that later. But then I told you, sir, the Ghana Navy, among the press release about they are detailing the sequence of things and how this is very serious and the action at the Ghana military, the Ghana armed forces, and the necessary state agencies to make sure say at the end of the day BB say air course it will not continue again, and these are definitely big issues at air course. The way at the screens so the at the screens sorry, the other 2 screens. So we are trying to actually make our link work. It's very soon. I think say the other 2 screens. So as we are trying to load this particular thing, and you see exactly what the Ghana Navy here is saying, or more arguments or more make it NSW in Krofwa, and even the big question, the way forward for the country, because I say we are a question here. It will share the way the Ghana Navy, as you can see on the screens. We are a press release at the Ghana Navy at the buyer. Now, apart from this particular press release at Ghana Navy at the buyer, and we'll read the press release. Ghana Armed Forces so almost another press release about. You see, this particular press release both parties they are at the end of the day, it kind of have some similarities, which means that the Ghana Navy was working in conjunct with the Ghana Armed Forces, and we need to actually know the details into this thing to share where so if Ghana Armed Forces project they went blank, saying Ghana Navy bust illegal bunkering syndicates. Ghana Navy bust illegal bunkering syndicate. So in here, church, what really happened, the way forward, and even what is really going on. But if I will share for the starter, maybe and I'll share now we need what bunkering is about. You can't bunkering. Fanny said ship, okay, ship and nam in so any authority to enter Ghana waters enter Ghana waters, and 2 another ship and a career ekuta niema as anya mana ekita no enya clearance to enter Ghana's waters and come into the country, or enya clearance to leave Ghana's borders out the country. So Oshe bunkering now. Say bunkering means supplying fuel, usually oil or gas, to ships, but the word is used in two very different ways depending on the context. Your legal, normal meaning shipping and oil, and almost also illegal meaning, which is common in Africa. So, same way, and of course, some parts say you start ACZ ships. The question is, which people are behind this particular operation? These are issues are air cost. Now, I share the whole screen. So, I say Ghana Navy Bass Bunkering Syndicates. Okay, in TB reading, I share the details of Insema air cost and even the way forward. As a particular in some way air cost, clearly, you could see said there are issues here involved. Into share the whole screen. So, you be ready. Ewaha amount. I say Ghana Navy Bass Illegal Bunkering Syndicates. Also on Tuesday, the 13th of January 2026, a team of Ghana Navy personnel from the naval base, no to quick. Forgive me if I don't get the name right, but I didn't wait the said you also who say no, it be backwards, said you emuye dupa. It's in some no much say on the 13th of January 2026. And a particular CP or more action. Yes, I'm to share the details in regards with this particular incident. I'll say on Tuesday, the 13th of January 2026, a team of the Ghana Navy personnel from the naval base Notukpo conducted an intelligence-led anti-illegal bunkering operation along the Abelia-Kope and also Atoku-Kope landing beaches in Aflao, Volta region. The coordinated raid, which took place from somewhere 5 a.m. 5 or 05 hours or 5 p.m. Meaning say p.m. and a.m. but man 5 p.m. to somewhere around like 1 a.m. hours, targeted several stash houses and makeshift structures, resulting in the seizure of 162 of 25 live gallons and 32 of 200-liter barrels filled with fuel. In a related operation on Thursday, the 15th of January 2026, the Ghana Navy again accosted 7 modified specially built canoes known as Dendes, suspected in illicit bunkering along the Kesa Denu Aflao coastline in the Volta region. The seized canoes contained 378 empty barrels engineered for smuggling of fuel at sea. The canoes were seized and towed to Thema Harbor after perpetrators fled upon spotting the Navy ship. The Ghana Navy remains dedicated to its mission. The Ghana Navy remains dedicated to its mission in securing the nation's maritime domain and urges coastal community to report suspicious activities, thereby protecting national security, marine biodiversity, and sustainability of the country's blue economy. And this was signed by Veronica Ajo Ahen. So basically, no more part say some ships and some local manufactured boats and canoes. Omo fa oil la na omo di fierce no so eko ebi ba. Na enye just oil. Definitely it can contain certain things. Said you at the end of the day, we've not had access to them, and because of that, and because of this particular thing, I'm not Ghana Navy for IRLS. And mind you, in this particular press release, the Ghana Navy is saying, some of them, they were able to arrest them and accost them. Baby, or why? Almost what say Ghana Navy ship, a bear or what no journey. So some is oil, the actual money, the oil, but other parts in there, we don't know what is in there. Some other parts, we don't know what is in there. So that is definitely one thing. Very shocking. Osha press release. Ghana Navy for together with Ghana Armed Forces. Omode buy we the same Ghana Armed Forces. Almost press release. Omode buy any Ghana Navy. You could see say Omenia Brad. They are saying that they are going to deal with any person at the end of the day, who is found culpable. So. That's exactly what is really going on. I mean, a lot of people are talking about this issue, and I'm happy to say the Ghana Navy is working because your border is not just a place you can't Ghana border and yet just land. They be Ghana border. It consists of 3 things: the air, the sea, and our waters, and also land. Anything be able pass it through illegally, any clearance, will see a shoot plane and a helicopter, ne platform, you so swa I was say then you blow up the boat and then you seize our boats before it enters or leave Ghana's shore. And you land swap, we need to actually send the people back or attack them or shoot them. We shouldn't allow them to come into the country because some of these people are mere criminals. Criminals. It be a whole lot of messy things. Messy things be brave. Nyama be brave. What I say, Sanyama na at the end of the day, it is a high year pass. So that's exactly what is really going on. I mean, I say kudos to the Ghana Navy and also kudos to the Ghana police for actually taking this particular action. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, or me, Sebu. I yielded much results. So that's exactly what is really going on. And definitely, you need indemnity. We'll be giving you more updates as all of this various events continue to unfold. Now, on this same border issue, in Grophobia Baby Ghana, Amas me no ka say Ofori-Atta baby pie Ghana na etie for ye be show video bi video na ehun kakra because we need some more time to so mo ye dan you but then be omo ye sa de no ana rituals na omo ye no omo ye wo Elmina Castle now enye ye kan rituals enye say bi twani petin kwa na ye rituals say bi uko school kwa na matriculation ana bibi sa na eno so rituals mamre a o ye sabepe but yeah that sorry there's a video trending okay. Because what you see on the screens currently, a group here, Omufi America, numbering about 500. More parties and saying near my caucus US, I'm a for be bread, Omucha Omichi Abagana. No more bass, Bimu Bansa, share Bimu so reconnected with Ghana as their roots. Now, Sanko from Mabe Ghana, no, or more from the Kappa Alpha sorority. Now, Kappa Alpha, a group here way back, I think 500 years ago, or it was founded in Howard University in 1908, some over 500 years ago. And now, Sebu, emba ombe bomu, more like sisterhood, ombe bomu, I just say ombe bomu for a common good, okay? So they help in service, scholarship, any other. And they are saying, say, Sa Alpha Kappa Alpha Group, Alpha Kappa Alpha Group, guy named Aka, aka Omo party say historically it just say omo a Black Greek organization for women. Na omechi efi Ghana. Na omo ba Ghana because video was shown on the screens time omo ba Ghana. Omo ba Ghana pet me who say Abegu Santana who is working with the Ghana Tourism Authority or Omo Feso. But then they did something I know can say many people are questioning say what is this and who even allowed them to storm Elmina Castle to do these rituals? Who gave them that authority to storm Elmina Castle to do these particular rituals? Now, you better share this particular video because they were there saying, say, as part of reconnecting with the roots and also getting in touch with their ancestors, they had to actually storm there and at this particular castle and do a ritual services. Now, I share this particular video, basically for more ritual and more performing, and also some of the issues and our concern amount will be easy. So we'll be checking out this video in a bit. Yeah, Babaka definitely send it and we have more punchy issues right here on this particular platform. And then same be bring. Young question this particular video. Quick one. Yeah, Babaka. We continue. It's for ehun kakra, but utia or say Alpha Kappa Alpha omo chants and omo rituals and no. And ti omo kwa Elmina Castle. Okay, what you saw was Elmina Castle top hole. And omo ku jina ho and omo ye rituals, omo kuta candle, omo ye rituals. So these are them. Omo no screen so bro omo ba Ghana no. It say it was something nice. Over 500 people in Bangkok, mostly women because a women group Alpha Kappa Alpha. And it's your rituals. They are concerns because who gave them the authority? We party so normal rituals. because they want to reconnect with their ancestors. And also who say the transatlantic slave trade, no, Ghana was a focal point from transporting slaves from where? Ghana to Europe and also to America, and now vice versa, Ghana to Brazil, America, or vice versa, whichever way, you know. That's some transatlantic slave trade, no. You call blacks here for more do na if Ghana. I mean, no, say, you know, some group you or maba. So it is something that at the end of the day, and I believe say, some social media, yes, many people are talking about this issue, but I believe say, well, it is no harm. Any idea say bibia gidigidibia nkofo so bufu omubufu. But the quick question is, again in a car so kwa yes rituals ni bianca by now. IGP achini gidi and so we breaking rules and regulations. But akwaya alpha kappa alpha ni there. Almost answer America for there. Any only why and Abeka so confo na seko. So that's exactly what is really going on. Now quickly. President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, Minuka say, you know, we gave you an update yesterday. Say, fuel prices in Ghana have decreased. Star Oil, any information, just say they have actually decreased fuel prices. Aside from that, to go also any information, just say or may decrease fuel prices. Now, one of the things you also have to notice that this January alone, you charge us 2 weeks per, but fuel price are dropping 2 times. As our fuel price are dropping 2 times, it's so significant. Say, you have to bear 3 cities a fiso. And no, and I mean, no, saying pennyphobia, I started to say, or more casa say, you know, they saw this. And then, or more can say BBC, ABC. A quick one before I watch this particular video. What should they was screen so? See, a Star Oil, you are selling a year petrol, which is super, for 97 pesos. And can you know, it was somewhere around 12, 13. Almost tisu general, masa tisu bium. Into mu can you want the fiso once and additional once the fiso. And a Star Oil CEO oko posti on Facebook say Ghana buy mahu kwanya ombit mati petrol so amana about 5 cities e will chrome her. But we'll talk about that later. But me know because this year and pennyphobia I started kasa because long time NDC loyalists or the same be about tuja in a video form say or no sabiu only sika to say how can Japan any a year despite most can be. But then on no acquire NDC loyalists no acquire a year His Excellency former President Jerry John Rawlings of also at the bar anyhow he thought about socialism. How say baby be a boy in socialist because this is basically a socialist party. How or believe it very soon petrol na yate so about 9 cities a bimu bomb no according to him very soon so petrol no ebeba 8 Ghana cedis. Now there's a video involved. I share this particular video. Babaka, we have an update about the NDC leadership race because opemu nankasa musa danka or the same biaba betuja sisi ano mo anamo bomb paya na mo believe say sini kitana befa presidential race no. All these are now it is one how they do so and a boss, okay? But then issue about and say, Obiaba be pim, young guy biaba be pim if I'm forcing. At forcing, a camia say, send our handle economy, no, yan year 2028 on no bear flag. But we'll come back to that issue later. But before then, no, you question this particular papay or the same way to when they come back, we will dive into the other matters.
Papa, what is it, petrol? Oh, man, okay, I'm at petrol. Some can say petrol beba 5 cedi. Na John.
Why?
Na John. Omo boy juma papa. Schedule ni akwaji o. Ya di samija mfina aji schedule no. Nti scan ha yanko bob sian o baby a. Nti na manfo ye samija mfi ya na aji schedule ni de ni ye juma sa. Na Ghana e koso no. So na samija mfi kwa boni din kwa no ye kese no. Mama onne na no mani ate.
Okay.
Nti na omuti abedwafo do mu hwe gold no. Samija mfi na da no. Nti na nkrofo ye nuanu mu do mofu yi. Omo boye tirisui. Na John ya mi hira wo mu. Na mepede me hu wo mu. Menyim wo mu bia. Sa. Picture na mehu. Picture so de enfa nka asem.
Ena utimi bo hu dawru.
Sa me agro no ya me denti NDC dem different 92.
Oh, okay.
Me de papa. Anam papa jenti.
Okay.
No ba Cape Coast anamani aje papa. Nti Cape Coast de ani achi anu mu nyina na na meeting. E wo dance fee. Obi sa na me no bi no from NDC konfo.
Oh, okay.
Na sia de me lungu baby. nti amanfo hu ma ache
adwuma ne de omaye
o maye na John o maye adwuma
okay
na John na ni ate John so ani ate nti na ka cha na ado de wagya no wallet wo ho o ma no kwa no me fa na 2020 o de wo na nwumu no na electoral commission we kura mpede oyi ni fi ho ma me no anya papa John me ka cha no o che
why
electoral commission onyi ni fi ho onyi ni fi ho no o che ya pa ne chewa anya de ma NDC ne o yes agu ye nyima ase
ene nansa na wo se o pa chewa ma chema wuntibi
ho ya cha ma wuntimi onu kura de miyem kura nchansa wam gate no wadura no Supreme Court wo mo che kwan a fa so ne papa ka se na ye na wuntimi mo makuma ase won kwa ye hwan wo ye otumfo kura be de wo ye wo de o plan ni tum ye nya kwan ye bu ye man
that's all
on come back 20 years kwa wo de 20 years ye de a che no o 20 de John Farmer no ne na
Okay, so that was in Semamba Pay Edit Tuja. Now, I told you, said there are more updates at Air Course right here in Ghana. Now, 2028, Mahama is not running again. There are some courts being practiced and extend the constitution. No team call for a third thing. But clearly, Mahama is not buying that. He wants to retire and go no being better ejumano so. But then, no kasa nipa why post consistently or Timmy predict say a year MDC for baby new power don. Or sanso share percentage wise and in a echo mu pepe no send ni pay or sanso in sema babe to nipa make an answer Musa Dankwa. According to Musa Dankwa, now the NDC race taking a certain dynamics. Initially, na Haruna Idris leading. The second person who was also behind Haruna Idris is Sidin Kitia, followed by the others, others also eka Julius Debra mo any ade but our party said na same mono ya DJ na ka ho race na adane and also me young guy be a friend to force or ye nyema maybe wo krom ha sa nyema na to force na eyen ama Ghana for enya ne mugidie nti anhwe ni ya 2028 per on research no someone may actually be taking the lead nti nsema onankasa editu.
Hello, good afternoon. Today is the 12th of January 2026. We throw in a bit more light on the NDC race. I shared a post this morning on my Facebook wall that has generated a bit of comment, and I felt maybe I should do a video to explain it. I made a post that says that it is likely the NDC will elect an Akan to lead them. However, if you look at who would you prefer to lead NDC? Haruna Idris is number one, but 26%. Atufosin on 23%. Haruna Idris, Mosquito on 22%. Jinana on 11%. Julius Debra, I think, on 7% thereabout. Eriko Poku. Now, basically what we are saying is that looking at the data, if you add the votes that the Akan candidates are getting, it outnumbers all the other candidates put together. Asiri 22, Atu 23, what is that? 55. Jenana 11, 66. Debra 7, 68. And you're not going to have all the Akan candidates in the race. Some will drop out. When some drop out, the Akan vote will begin to consolidate along one or two candidates. So this is data. This is not something that I've conjured from the skies. Now, let's look at the data we just published about who the people prefer to lead NDC. And looking at from the looking at that data from the ethnic perspective. Among the Akans, 26% of Akans are backing Asili Kitia. 9% are backing Julius Debra. 29% are backing Atufosin. So Atufosin has majority of Akan vote. And then Haruna gets 17% of Akan vote. Ablakwa gets 4%. Eriko Puku 1%. Joshua Alabi 2%. And Jenana 11%. So among the Akans at the moment, Atufosin has the lead. So when the others drop, it's more likely Atufosin will maintain that lead. The data speaks. It's not me. When you come to the Ghana Dangbe, there is a Ghana Dangbe candidate in there. But if you check the vote, 24% of the Ghana Dangbe are voting for or prefer Asedun Kitia. 24%. 5% prefer Deborah. 23% prefer Atuforsin. So if you add Deborah, Atuforsin, and Asedun Kitia, what do you get? Over 50% of Ghana's, in fact, 67% of Ghana's support Akan candidate. So if some of them drop out, the Ghana vote for the Akans will consolidate to one Akan candidate or two of them. The Ghana Dangbe candidate, which is Joshua Alabi, gets 4% of the Ghana Dangbe vote. 4% of Ghana Dangbe vote. But Haruna gets 20% of Ghana Dangbe vote. So majority of the Ghana Dangbe vote goes to Akan. Let's come to the Ever block. Asedun Kitia gets 20%. Deborah 9%. Atuforsin again 23%. So Atuforsin is leading in the Ever group. And then if you add the Ever group, close to 70% are backing who? The Akan candidates. Haruna gets 16% of the voter block. And Ablapa gets 15% of the voter or the Ever block. So you can see that even the Ewes are coalescing around the Akan candidates. Let's come to Molly Dagbani. That's where I think the beef is. In the Molly Dagbani group, Asedun Kitia gets 15%. Gilios gets what? 5%. That is 20. Atuforsin gets 12%. That's 32%. And Jenana gets 9%. So that's about 41%. Plus Ergopuku about 2%. So 43%. So among the Molly Dagbanis, 43% of Molly Dagbanis are choosing Akan candidates, while 51% of them support their own Haruna Idrisu. So it means that even among the Molly Dagbani, there is a growing realization that it may not be the time for Molly Dagbani again. And therefore, over 43% of them are voting for Akan candidates. So what you see from the data, not from me, is that all the major ethnic groups in the NDC that make up the NDC bloc intend to support Akan candidate. That is the data. It is not Musa Dankwa saying. So when you see that headline, it is backed by data. We don't know whether that candidate will be Jendana Puku, or that person will be Eriko Puku, or that person will be Atuforsin, or that person will be Julius Debra, or that person will be Asedun Kitia. But the data shows that they are all moving towards Akan candidate. Thank you very much.
But I want to ask a question. Does this mean, say, Kenny Japan argument will make it say northern region and a northerner cannot win an election? Is it valid? Because if NDC put or more parties say they don't elect a northern candidate and then they are all supporting an Akan and a Christian candidate, does it mean say a party like MPP are predominantly Akans party or more elected and northerner as a flag bearer, which is Baumian? Does it mean say it will hit them and I say idea? I just say it will cost them the 2028 and future elections. Does that make in Japan an argument valid or not? We'll come back to that issue, but then you can drop in your comments. And I say in Sema Woka. Now, Nipa Yebabeka na semi Ghana he nyina you say the GOAT of gospel music. You can say the GOAT a goat. It stands for the greatest of all time. Now, Mafino, and now Nipa Yebeka na sema. Let's just drop this for you to know exactly who we are about to talk about, because breaking serious news be about from issues about hair, a whole lot of issues. Here's your video about Baka. Okay, so nipa any video no on the screen. So Esther Smith, the best Ghana's biggest gospel musician, over 22, 26, 28 years. No, about today, crowd, it still feels like yesterday. Back-to-back hits, Esther Smith. Now, Esther Smith have been trending for some time now. Ufule Esther Smith issues about a bro share abroche for some years now on Ghana. It's your bekas and the bano, the babema baku yare, operation after operation, any surgery. It's in the bano timinya hoto. And even Nancy it is on a year music producers binya kasa echo PM court, music distribution honsem, and even far from that to Nancy issues efana brabo. Esther Smith has been through it all. But then me no kasa sisi and Esther Smith and in semi betuja. But before the video now share, you know, it was Alpha Hour convocation. Pastor Elvis Ajiman, Alpha Hour. A brand now in the program on the 30th and the 31st of December 2025. Just last year, stadium no. Sa program na oyen Esther Smith ko perform wo. Na Esther Smith ko perform wo no. Eche no, enokwa grant interview e ka say abrochi ofi ye eba Ghana nyina no na nkofo bi ase oba Ghana say bi na had to protect her. Ntina onam kra na odi atete. Why? Because according to information about and ye bo obi pa say yenkuku Esther Smith. Now according to Esther Smith no enye nena sansem no start ya check akra into oba Ghana kra onam ni nyina no stage no wo so kra na bi na for protect no because the pan ye money sika base $200,000 whatever dollars. Now sansem na Esther Smith ko kan eno na brand here baako even the bongo ideas wakoka ama sisi ano akoka kase bia ama kasa na atra ne ninton na nipa akoka sa ye against enkofo mienu baako against Esther Smith herself and baako so against papa we ya owo so even Pastor Elvis Ajiman aka Alpha Hour aka share the link na menu ka say Esther Smith edi kan the press release buy fire bongo ideas. But then no papa he's taking matters to the extreme. Ama me no ka say no baako out of form. Yensha in some bongo ideas which has generated all of these issues. We share screens so bongo ideas posti we bra Esther Smith ko kan san same way. Into we share bongo ideas or posti say I was at Alpha Hour and I was charged $300,000 for prayers against a threat on my life. Esther Smith drops bombshell. I've always known this guy can't be trusted. Keep making these pastors rich. So basically, some Esther Smith take can and papa say, oh, because Esther Smith say abone pa, obi abo obi pa say yembe kuno no. Na owo Alpha Hour perform no Pastor Elvis na Pastor Elvis say on be performance say be buni like just worse no. Na oka sansem no wie na o hwa ase say so o san so drop another bombshell. Or say all these Talentanic pastors will be exposed in the fullness of time. You can defend this TV. You can defend this TV because of your religious intoxication. Or pastor says, "Sa pastors here, omuye talentanic. Michomuye akwishifo. Omun kanu kre. Omun for Bible and omudu bapo. Ebi according to bongo ideas. Pastor Elvis. And pastor say ebe drum ebi no omun nyina no omutu be dedi. Na who defend Pastor Elvis so now defend because you're a Christian and because Bruni Becca have been intoxicated. What am I saying? No problem. Now, Okasa same way, one person was not actually liking it. Say, Branty, minimum, Mishanida. Or become my sem ya sa brass and some na me interview me call grantee man kasa. Sebio Pastor Elvis, meaning in Nisa or you'll be at Mibuno. But Okasa same way, and you're creating an enmity between me and Pastor Elvis, a unnecessary enmity. To quickly Esther Smith at the lengthy press release bias and usher on the screens. But you're reading some more kind before Pastor Elvis, so waba back on so waba sue or threatening legal action against a bongo ideas. Usher's clarification on misleading reports concerning Pastor Elvis Alpha Hour. So now Esther Smith had to come out and actually say in some can about say what kind about Pastor Elvis Alpha Hour and Yano Craig. Also, we've taken note of widely circulated reports and commentaries on social media suggesting that Pastor Elvis Ajiman of Alpha Hour demanded or received money in exchange for prayers. These claims are false, misleading, and a gross distortion of facts. We wish to state unequivocally that during our engagement with Pastor Elvis Ajiman and the Alpha Hour team, We were treated with respect, dignity, and genuine pastoral care. At no point was any amount requested, demanded, or charged for prayers. On the contrary, adequate security and support were provided, and all interactions were conducted with professionalism and integrity. So, contrary to claims and now bongo ideas making say, because Abo be pass on Kuku Esther Smith, you know. Pastor Elvis said, "Wo brane be bon paye, brane bon paye ma. Wo start saying brane bon paye ma. E was so some be performing. E wo ye yina se. Na ma yesika enye sa wo na ya bon ho pass obi wo bewu. And pastor anya no kre. Contrary say, yes say Pastor Elvis demand this car from ono eye Esther Smith no. Pastor Elvis mom ene mo muska eno mo security niema se ba mo be hinha omo nti Esther Smith anko tueske bia Pastor Elvis dem mom ne tuesika sa man extra security because e pese boni tu oku no. That's what she was saying. Also to also say Pastor Elvis Ajima demonstrated consistent character, accountability, and transparency, and he remains a leader who can be trusted. Any narratives portraying him otherwise are inaccurate and should be disregarded. We therefore call on all the general public, the Alpha Hour family, and fans of Esther Smith to disregard all speculation, sensational headlines, and misrepresentations currently circulating on social media. We urge media practitioners and bloggers to exercise responsibility, verify facts, and avoid publishing content that may mislead the public or damage reputations. This statement is issued in the interest of truth, clarity, and peace, signed by Esther Smith manager. You know, the kind of basically, you know, and no and a woho. Now, since some way by an adianche, and a Pastor Elvis say, okay, see, I know Esther Smith Abekasa said, man, just be in fini ho. Say, obi so kunitino, on chia mekana me pie man. If Esther Smith Abeka say na a branch na odi kind edesa news no eba no. If he's still perpetuating this kind of falsehood, why is he doing that? Why isn't he coming out to apologize? And no, Pastor Elvis Ajima or si debi. On tina ho Emma Sebu Obin can hon some phones are. You can say he's fake, but for you to say so, I call Jiska a brown Jiska no, bad, okay? And you know, Oshaha. I said the Alpha Hour and its leader, Pastor Elvis, categorically rejects and condemns recent false defamatory malicious claims circulated by Albert Nat Hyde, also known as Bungo Ideas, on Facebook, Instagram, and also on X. These allegations are completely untrue, misleading, and lack any factual basis. Alpha Hour demands an immediate retraction and public apology, and expressly reserves all legal rights in relation to this matter. And you know, Pastor Elvis now will demand your friend is saying apology and retraction. Out him saying law firm, bold legal consult, any bold legal consult. This particular group no and a legal firm on this letter we demand an immediate retraction defamatory statement by Albert Nat Hyde, Bungo Ideas, and also for and behalf of our client Alpha Hour and its leader Pastor Elvis, also known as Chief Ofori-Atta. The attention of Alpha Hour and its leadership has been drawn to series of false defamatory and malicious statements published and circulated by Bungo Ideas, whose real name is Albert Nat Hyde. Alpha Hour and its leadership categorically reject and strongly condemn this false, malicious, defamatory statement. Into Asiano and another all parties say the said defamatory statements are misleading. Statements which were published, with video and audio formats with contents which contradicts the aspirations, aspersions, and libelous statement published by Bungo Ideas alongside the defamatory words. I was at Alpha Hour and I was charged 300,000 for prayers against a threat on my life. Esther Smith drops bombshell. And also so it is some Bungo Ideas say cannot pass and no credit say Esther Smith's Alpha Hour and you charging iska. Sansem na Bungo Ideas say Troy or Debbie and a Bungo Ideas I've always known this guy can be trusted. Keep making this pastors rich. And Chief Ofori-Atta said Debbie this guy one retract here and ye be shan or court. Number che bibia na mi jiska. Na sensem way by and check. And papa let's say oh man can ye crack. Pastor Elvis and ya wona na me de na me de papa bi a owo nima ono so o se friend alpha minute ono enye alpha minute nti no bongo ideas abe patch about this whole Esther Smith saga. It's no quickly, no. We should the screen so retraction apology alpha R and a bungo ideas. Why you know or minim say he say on his own law firm and I say a year but osha the number near the adina wo say waka say statement of apology and retraction. Bongo ideas Albert not high. Hereby issue retraction apology regarding statements I've previously made on social media about Alpha Hour and its leader. After further review and carefully listening to the audio interview featuring Esther Smith, I acknowledge some aspects of her statements. Specifically, the alleged monetary amount was misunderstood due to challenges in interpreting the Twi language used. This led to an inaccurate portrayal of facts. I'd like to clarify the post in question were subsequently deleted after Esther Smith provided clarification which addressed and corrected the misunderstanding. I regret any inconvenience, reputational harm, and confusion these publications may have caused to Alpha Hour, its leader, Pastor Elvis Agyemang. This retraction is made in good faith and without malice and intent to mislead. I sincerely apologize to all parties affected. Bongo ideas. So bongo ideas, fearing retribution, no, and all this same way about to say in some man say be any name from memoir or no, or dear what genuine fun so atum. Wajin fun so atum pa itino o de CBA no yen fa ne bone enchen because in penifo say sabio oba ekweja na egu nan so a ye pepa yintwa. So this bongo ideas again at its classic menoka say in some IBB. So that's exactly what is really going on menoka say no and same people. So let us know what you think about all of these issues if anything air so now at the end of the day no what you think about this whole Esther Smith issue no I be ama menoka say in some no so we'll be actually following all of this particular issue and maybe making sure more updates as all of this definitely more updates to continue to pour in. But then bring in your comments. We'll be very much happy to read your comments on this particular issue and everything that is really going on. What do you think? What do you think about Science Simuya Akoso? What do you think about it? But before I bet to us, no, Esther Smith. We continue because we have breaking news about Brandy Champon and in Japan or more Kwan Charlie. Also true be a PMO. Okay, so that was Esther Smith. Now then moving on to the next updates right here on this particular platform. Mene uka say Brandy Champon. We must say no. Agrona koso no. Akwa two-way race and a two-man race. We are the MPP flag bearership race. Elections are back to the 31st of January 2026. No, it's like one more year come on some. Kini Japan any baubia. But bisa say idea say me so me kan 5. Hey, Kenny Japan wo ho, Baumia wo ho, me Brandy Champon me so mo ho. In fact, Professor Yawedu Chum so wo ho. Kwamne Japan so wo ho. Ne ba ne sin idea, oh sorry Kenny Japan, Baumia, Kenny Japan, Baumia. Me to idea, it is a strategy no of fighting Baumia no and pick dia. Any me fan kon nipa asebio na koma no e wo so, which is Kenny Japan. Now, This man, I don't know strategy and the campaign. Sorry for the mic blast. I don't know strategy. By the champ on the campaign AU. But no, it seems like he had an event. Okay, UPSC. Now event or have UPSC. No, he spent majority of the time attacking Kennedy Japan. Now. There was series of videos but this particular video Brian the Champion, the statement ni say candidate ni bi so omo businessmen inti baku bia ono de mean boni din which you should know who I'm talking about. Our campaign na also more factories no the gari any ekwe me no the akọ mo hwe my gari factory or my gari intimate me really ga na say someone has a bigger thing more than Gary. Gary de so be abetimaye. Adia Chrome has say a difficult. I won't mean any easy. I won't capital won't mean ye. The brony a friend or your friend is saying a building and a real estate. No hotel. Yen could see some more can ye. This particular first but yeah babaka he threw more shots do. Attacking in Japan in Japan boku Johnny. In fact, a yen same be but then yen tears and same way brand champ to joy baba kebetu.
Oh, yeah, businessman say chain. Or a dancing or the Neduma friend say Garini Gatike in Namba. Anamigua. And I will wear Tisadaka. I come in the hotel, remember?
So that was in summer brand champ or the two just say King Japan or say a dancing to your call with a Garini Katikik. Honestly, but King Japan, the campaign strategy is steering to the core. Now you may have thought that this was just on a lighter note. He was making joke. He went on further to say King Japan sorry or the TV so can say me who ya ding me fearless. I'll die for the you die for the country. And I will call Boku not the region campaign no. Boku baby in Tokwani de ade koso no opana so wanko ho and I was sending message on the WhatsApp ti only delegates no meeting WhatsApp yenko share yenko TSM brand the champion di to just King Japan oyehu kwa
to every single Mamprusi constituency wale Nalaribu Gambaga Yagabaku Bore Chereponi. I was there. I went to the Boku zone, Garu Timpani, Zebila. I was there, Pusiga. I'm the only candidate who has been able to visit every one of the Mampusi constituencies and every one of the Kusasi constituencies. No other aspirant has been able to do that. No other aspirant. My senior brother Kennedy went to Upper East, 15 constituencies. He visited 9 and left the Boku zone. He sent them a WhatsApp that he will come back. I just saw a press release from him that he wants to do a Zoom campaign with them. I am through this medium asking him to rescind the decision and visit our party people in the Boku zone. To visit them. It sends a wrong signal to those from that part of the country that the party is not interested in their votes. And I want him to rescind the decision and visit our Zebila, Garu, Timpani, and Pusiga. He has to go there. Even if he's going to get 0, which I think he will, he has to visit that part of the country. Our vice president went to Upper East. He also visited the 9 constituencies and could not go to visit the other 6 constituencies. And I think that he should make an effort to visit them. Even if he has to bring all of them to Bolga to meet with them, because we are neglecting them and it's not a good signal. And through this medium, I send that invitation that if we have to be taken seriously as a national party, then we need to be able to visit every constituency in this country.
Okay, so that was in Sema Brian Champon editorial. But you see, far from this, no, no Brian Champon campaign, I hate say as some people labeling these people as your friend is saying, one more ungrateful bastards. Once a Brian Champon campaigner now, or you know, the Simbi Betuja said he sponsored most MPs, such as the Eastern Regional MPs. No, they brought out a press release or mobile press conference, and you know, correct. But then, I say, you know, Obia and a team member of the Brian Champon campaign, or the Betuja say there were CCTV footages, any receipts of sika amount for back GFE Brian Champon kwaye campaign. Hey, papa ya ni tinu shensen kojo opon kuma obeti 8 billion. It's for yenshe video e babaka e beto aso because nipa e cobra.
If you were fancy you be na opon kuma now you minister at that time. Over 800,000. Say also so betimi di bia so now there you did the activities. Nipa na ya there. Say when nyina ya men say ni di ensem bia e koso e wo ye party mu MPPCC time. Say nipa enka no kre. Na okotena radio so ni TV so a na ono ankasa ehwe nyame anim edi ntro etum futurogu amansan yani e ba ne say Eastern region ye be ko campaign ye be elections. Dr. Brian Champon and a sponsor yan D-Day. Every parliamentary candidate MPs eba ni fie na memeti adwamu na me kan wono sika de koye adwuma on D-Day edema ho papa na ni sika afede ekoto abawie na se oba be pribia okobo so se me na me sponsor Eastern region na nipa bi ti hom se enye no kware Dr. Baumia sika nkofo sika na omo de bre o se fama ho omre so amunim se enye no kra obi ani ho a odisika bre Brian Champon se fakoma party for na imom no no ankasa no tena ase no hu ye se meboa am yetimi aye campaign the Eastern region there me fa to me ho so na me de ma ya adwuma na me de aboa from the month of June any de shase na ye call rounds was selected constituencies were Eastern region. You could do hobia ye call constituency no mu a bit is Fante Akwa North ye call ho ye chin polling stations for nyina so Brian ma obia sika about 200 cities each say obia amfanje na omfa enko share campaign ase ye be fi ho no or sign ma candidate no 100,000 eno de ye meka se na nya ni sika sa na odi share ase from June aircon every month bia apart from some fewer na on ye ministers and as bibi e wo won nsem pusu bia na 100,000 if papa no hokọ ekoma each and every one of them eno de montimi nyina ho na on ka se papa we bra mi sika se me mfanya adwuma se eno D-Day ye ka D-Day a omugina TV so e ka se enye no kwara enye ni sika sisi ade ne enye no kwara anka sika ne ko gine woni fie anka me regional chairman kanye party office na metana na me de abrɛ wo se wo beji party sika de ama woni this and so no ne fato no so obeboa Eastern region am yetimi aye adwuma enti wo ba hwɛ honorable Akwasi Akwa ugina TV so kasa ansem a wo kan ye no ono nko Abraham 1.5 million Ghana cedis on D-Day honorable anodompre 1.8 million Ghana cedis on D-Day so kede 1.8 million Ghana cedis on D-Day if you were fancy you be na opon kroma na you minister at that time over 800,000 say also so betimi di bia so now there you did the activities enipa na ya de a say wa nyina ya men say ni din wa nyina ya men me ka sebe oboa enye no kware because you want your candidate to win Na se wo kokodi sa ntro we fa ne ho a ochina se o candidate ni we ni a wo be de no abegina n'anim abeka che se oh ade achi bia sori bra se be kwa apia na ya boa kwa apia on na ya boa ono de onyini sika okobo so awso odi ntro ade achi anwa san abegina n'anim se on fa sika ma na e fa kokoye campaign bi wo e wo se ye kanokore so nipa ni disika ma me say me was CCTV camera it capture everybody. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to be pushed to the wall. Kasa ye kan ye bibia e call so ho bia no e the CCTV captured everybody. Na say wo kwa kwaji sika ye party sika ye de call obi fie ni akwa kwaji. This is very simple logic. I'm a person of my Ghana and MPP for mo be hu. And
so that was in Sema, a Brian Champon, a team member back, Eddie Tuja say, a Kamia say, MPP party, no, Nkophobia, I ungrateful, but then on person catch Sankophobia, and then on more ungratefulness, the records are there. So they should be very careful, and also Moken who say, Echnaso. And one of the things you also have to notice that Sebu Baumia or no quantity mean your campaign, or Urinekrana, he still needs people to support him because. Sebio, you need a lot of money to from other people to campaign for a whole lot of things. But oh yeah, BB say na dache, obi be who say you're ungrateful. What will happen is that at the end of the day, a man for best at here, and that won't be good for him, and that won't be good for the party is so that is in Sema air Koso. I mean, no, say Brian Champion, the campaign team, no. Or more air can once again, you can drop your comments in the comment section. We will gladly read it for you because issues where cost issues are in Sembebre. So that is in Sema air cost. So drop your comments and send your bet to us. We'll be very much happy to read some of your comments. And therefore, okay, Papa we always swing so some kind last year, December, Papa bi bagan a friend Ashake. Na oba no abranti papa yi ehia no edi and friend ye say oye community and a chrome ho boys omu leader brante hene sa e wo nungu atesi ho baby na bra Ashake bae no okopie na so ye mama pei okase Ashake abagana ne de obotuo e wo wiem na wachela nanom se obrempon bi abagana but then Ghana's laws prohibit ananansin kra no IGP Edinburgh ba say mayan mu botuo by hearts for celebration here because ebi mu fa ho e de ye bone ebi na na mra ebi etu ko pete Kofi Adomani a bepemene neni no so hu ade o intimi nkyere even though he's recovered a bit but then sansem we course so no ye che papa no ene me no ka say bibi foforo asen si before then no because Obo Mohammedin and Obo say tu no mu amon kai sansem na anade si ye no we have a video yes we keep records ye share this particular video babaka ye be ma mu updates okay. Yebema mu update on a year papa we in summer sisia afan ho aba and even in summer sebio sisia no ebi mu is summer afan ho eba based on happenings of course because minim say Ghana police fortune no emensem bebre but then adentia na sisia no was I call back to the police and it's like the police no the same police no mo che no the same police is now saying say they will be doing something with this man. What would they be doing with this particular man? It's for you share this particular video. Babaka, you better ask.
I'm leaving for my boss from Germany, Bahama, and Ibrahim, and Putaka. That's brother from another mother tongue. My brother from another mother tongue. So I just want to give a gunshot for you. Please.
Okay. Inti yes obo say true na brand no obo say to friend cyborg but me no ka so obo say true quickly and chebia and Ghana police for coaching. I remember say Ashake crack with share President Mahama ama okaso omunipa ba ko ya chino because no obo true to ana he no pa Mahama chana Mahama so we are very sorry because the law is the law. Me no ka say sisi ana brand police for as I told our friend and as I could pay police for us but then on a different note police for a part say they are actually working with this man. How possible? maybe away on the Ghana police for any penny for issue, particularly, in penny for issue, say I am ambassador, but the ambassador I know in Trimu Ewo. Let's put this on the screens for us to get a clear overview of why this man is even now collaborating with the Ghana police. Into Osha the whole screens as well. Also breaking Pani Cyborg, previously arrested by the Ghana police for disorderly discharge of a firearm during Ashake's arrival, has been appointed a gun amnesty ambassador by NACSA as part of the efforts to promote responsible behavior and reduce illegal gun use. Into Abranti, I find Pani Cyborg. According to him, or to two say two in honor of his Ashake, because now Ashake Abagana. And no ye chin no ye chin ye sisi to party say I didn't know ye one ye ama sisi the Ghana police service or more a particular section a from a NACSA. Basically no omo party say oh twa use it well. My name is for protection and yet for show off. You don't go and use your gun papa now the show off a illegal. Inti an ambassador no be catching for say a two no ye the bobine. Ye fan church and ye show off. And you know, me no kasi siya papa ye an ambassador. Osha, the oya ye no. Or no kasi who say one ye and siya and then ambassador. So these are some of the things that so me no kasi definitely it has garnered a whole lot of reactions on social media. Say ebani say na obi okotu to happy dey see or a Ghana ambassador. What is going on? But it happens. Obi o no mensa. Okore have no mensa ni bi ma yetimi emano. Your friend is saying a position, and I say to me, man, to me an ambassador for abuse, an ambassador against abuse of drugs and alcohol. It happens. It's with free to bet chenko for so we are dealing so it is normal. Regardless, no senko for the air comment. Regardless, no that same we are a dear kwakupie nipa akwitia by election or J asutro Alaji Musa Masawudu. Or the same Yababe to just say, you see, our north or sounds a second vice chairman the northern region. But then obetimi aka is in simple say Ghana for bread. In fact, he said dollar back from baby Obefibia. People are telling him said they wish the NPP will come back to power. And according to him, Mahama Afro the Ghanaians, he said a lot of things. Yenkuti Sama Alaji Masawudu Odituja. We come back, we continue.
You see, when God is going to judge people, he judges them by their acts. You who said NPP is not a government, it's a stupid government. You had your ward, you had your son, your nephew, your auntie, son, your what, be in secondary school without paying money. Today, you who said NPP is foolish government, today you have mobile money interoperability in your distance, in your phone. You can transfer money to the bank and you can withdraw money to the bank. Is through the New Patriotic Party. Today, you can be in your home and renew your national health insurance. These are the pity policy of the New Patriotic Party. Today, drones, you can see drones distributing medicine, the whole Ghana. And if you look at the whole world, today, the NPP, the Ghana is the leading distribution of medicine by drones in Ghana today. It is made by NPP. That is our achievement. Tell us, what was your achievement? You see, NDC, God had made them of insults. It is only insult. They cannot mention one policy that nobody ever did that policy on unless NDC. They can't mention it. They don't have it. Look at health insurance. Foolish things. Foolish people. Look at health insurance. When we introduce health insurance, after health insurance come to stay, they will come and claim it and say it is DS. And they promise to make health insurance one-time premium. One-time premium. Only one-time premium. It took the NDC 8 good years. 8 good years, in fact. This incompetent government could not fulfill their promises of making national health insurance one-time premium. And you are calling yourself a political party? And you are insulting the New Patriotic Party? How dare you? How dare you? This is a party that has scammed Ghanaians. 24-hour economy, where is it? Where is the 24-hour economy today? Tell us, Asedum Katia have said it categorically on his mouth that the 24-hour economy, those electricians, those welders, when they are going to use light in the night, it will be cheaper. Are we seeing the cheapness of the light in the now? Who are those even welders and electricians who are working? So if you look at NDC, they are like mental. We have, look, to compare NDC and MPP in terms of mental, we have something that we call ferrous mental and non-ferrous mental. Yes, ferrous mental and non-ferrous mental. Ferrous mental are mental that contain ions. And non-ferrous mental are metals that do not contain ions. So if you look at MPP, in fact, the MPP are mental, are ferrous mental that contain ions. We are mental, but we contain ion on us. And the NDC are mentals, but they do not contain ions in them. So if you see two ions, you think they are the same. Someone will sit home and say, oh, the two political parties are the same. You cannot in any way compare the New Patriotic Party of possibility and the NDC of impossibility. You cannot compare the MPP of possibility party and the NDC and impossibility party. So let's assume both of them are mental, but the MPP are mental that contain iron on them, useful, and the NDC are political party are mental that did not contain iron. I'm telling you the truth. I've been in this party since 1992. I know the NDC and I know the MPP. There is no single policy. Yesterday, Thursday, you know, I stay around East Legon. I'm in East Legon, Ajingano. I had my small left pay over this thing. I have some small money in the Get Fund. I went to Get Fund yesterday. I was even trying to see the deputy Get Fund administrator who went to Karaga to say some devastated words against Anta, and to see who I just want to see him like that and see how he's doing there. And I asked him, you a deputy Get Fund administrator, you are comparing yourself to a finance minister? Even your boss cannot compare himself to finance minister. So when I went to Get Fund administrator, anybody who knows now the office, the Get Fund administrator, if you go and see the nice building there today, and these are enjoying the building, is the MPP that built it. It's the MPP, every nice government building that took government business in Ghana here.
Don't worry. So I have yes. This is.
Okay, so Nipa sheni video no screen so Akosia Sewa. Now she's going on Thor or Tikemu. That is a Wivinia the latest one is say you brand gifts ni pictures. Yes, so a first lady of the Legal Wise Association and her team Legal Wise. Regardless, there's a breaking news about her because in the diagram update say courts or Mako PMA or court Emma will demand 50% of all the properties of that Lumba because of a legal wife. And aside from that too, was also sue so person year from or person who body together with a whole lot of things. So in the short here, no your papa she. But then we can see no KJ Kwame Apia, who was also a very close friends, who was close friends with that Lumban or the same Biaba Tuja party say courts need our more corner. Something should happen because when you say that Lumba you know. That Lumba Wahono, Sebio, he actually anticipated BBC ABC to a name be brave. But you know, send nobody see, you know, in some more. He actually said a whole lot of things. Young video here, Babaka, Vim Lady so at the warning, Aquacoma, a year, Team Legal Wives, or more founder, a year, Akosia Sewa.
Media advice Kakram de Bema Busiani, especially Mema Akosia Sewa, Miami Akosia Sewa, and say, Brapeni in him sworn in an abre. ayɛ na japadeɛ no most of them at least 70 to 80%. Enti yɛntwɛn na abrewa mfirafuo mu mmra na yɛnhwɛ deɛ wɔwe ne nkunuma media minim sɛ ɛnyɛ dan a obi te sɛ lumba dadi lumba ɔbɛyɛ well ɛna wontimi nyɛ well nso nya maame ne di mfirim enti na bɛyɛ a she should let the sleeping dog lies sɛdeɛ bɛyɛ a ebia ɛsɛ mpanimfoɔ sɛ agorɔ no ba wo fie na wobɔ nkɔnteni akɔhyia ebi kura mpo a na majority of ne nneɛma no anaa deɛ yɛka ho asɛm ebi kura na ndi na da so na sɛbe akɔyɛ nti no me deɛ ɛyɛ futuo na mede bɛma ɔm sɛ ɔmo ma adwobrɛ mmra sɛdeɛ yie no yɛ korɔkorɔ wɔn pa wɔn akyɛw sɛ wɔn nya wɔn nto wɔn bo ase na nneɛma nkɔ adwobrɛ akɔyɛ yɛ at the end of the day na ebi kura ntimi ama bi no the same thing na deɛ me yɛ nwumtuni a saa mpaboa no ɛsɛ me de me nan hyɛ mu no it could happen to me my advice is say onya abotre kura sɛbi omi nkasa obi yɛ no yodium but yɛ nipa maybe obi kasɛm bi gu na so benku obi ka gu nifa mu sɛdeɛ bɛyɛ a obi nya abotre na watwɛn ahwɛ sɛ bia na wɔno kura no luba wonim nyansa ho ɛna wonim deɛ ɛyɛ obi a wɔne no bɛbɔ bra obi a ɔbɛboa wɔ wakwan mu bia no abre bia no nso kae no nti ɛntimi mma sɛ rapani bɛyɛ well na ɔmmɔ ne din anaa majority of ne nneɛma ɛnkɔ no hɔ well
in some way and a kechi kwame appear odi tuja. But then far from that to one in the man ayakusia sewano, the other people who are also saying say it's too early to jubilate and put this antics because you see ukokota and now obi do ukokota na wasem ukokota courts, you know, they are not just looking at a court case, you know, and the facts and how you present your argument to. They are also looking at how you carry yourself and the public perception. And in aid of this, Vim lady or a lawyer, you see, or some broadcaster, I mean, TV personality, you know, you see, based in the US. And also, they be, I share some na sha. Now, I want Simbi Ekache Mame Akusia Sewa.
Ghana Supreme Court say free necro, awari for wari no muja awari ajapade a ye che and yet 50-50 biem, yen che ne pepe biem. Obana wa anye adwuma amwa. Obana usika nka ho obana wankasa wa amwa be ma no wa hoodin ana oba no wonfo hoodin amwa na onka ho say Supreme Court say no contribution no chop into contribution Supreme Court person what say either say eye usika pa sika botre na odi ahyem na maye ajapade no ana say wo de wa hoodin aboa. This is the case of Susapon versus Osusapon case wey and I want here be controlated the dad number ne yerenom case ajapade ni chebu no wan sha said your omobeye no na Mr. Our iPhone no muntie Supreme Court say wɔhwɛ asɛm a constitution na kan article 22 emu say our iPhone ye japade a mrane fa ne say omienu ni dan no enye automatic omo say enye japade bia na our iPhone eye bomu a kyerɛ sɛ eye omumienu mu dia ye wɔ japade a our iPhone no oba ne obema ye a omo pese sɛ japade we ye den joint property ye mienu ye dia bibi ti se omo koto asase na omachro no Mr and Mrs no mo dey register and tell say omo pese ejapade na joint property na emom se be ma na nkasa free ni baabi koye na ejapade bra waware wo no eno nkire se oka ho eje se wo kire se wo de wa ho oden boa bi ana se wo de obotom sika ehye mu bi. In this case of Osusapon de na ma me ne ba aware mu no na papa na ato na asase no we si ne dan akosi window level awa eja ye ba no ma me ne se da bi papa ne ware no papa ne kotena abrochire ono ana na supervise workers no ewi eche papa ne san be fa no kotena abrochire London oye adwuma ma o service kasa wo problem nko de koya IVF says kan papa na amon amfanya IVF na so mboma no de ko share dan nim no de ko board dan so de bi ye windows nya de nti na ware gya ya ba eno so yo no so ne contribution asem ne ba court no high court di ma me no say yen che dan mu 50-50 because sa sika no any supervision na no supervisor workers mo hwe dan no so no e che se ma me no so ne contribution wo dan nti yen chem na obi agi 50-50 papa na anti ase na o de court of appeal e court of appeal no papa court of appeal say there be ma me na ntumi amfa dance e poten ama say sa sika na o de ma papa no papa na ntua ma no papa no tumi kire say ane meji sika no but me tua ma me no. Number 2, Court of Appeal san chire mu bio say Sa asem na maame ne kan so supervise workers when to me have evidence be aba because papa no e the evidence aba say ono ana na okọ abroche no ohwe dan otua oto dan ne materials na bibie ni wa kyese oba na na ehwe workers so because e ono papa no na konta na na ehwe dan no so nti e ho no court no bo maame ne die ne gu say wan fa na ho ode bia contribute ahwe workers so ni sika no so be ma ne tua ma no nti the only thing court no court of appeal so ode be mama me say okay 4,000 kakra na ode boa papa ne court so ohu se ane eye maame ne moa ode hyemu e ma ejapade ne be joint property ti court of appeal kra de oji tum say edan no eye omumie enum dia nti o so obe mama me no mu 20% instead of 50% a final high court de man no court of appeal twemu so obe man 50% pe ena maame ne so onti ase na yen onko supreme court na supreme court infa high court 50% no de man tie fa dan half man no infa man no e call supreme court na supreme court ichem say enye by force say mo ware bom a ejapade a mo be ye no eye mumie no dia da bi say ye twem enye by force because se be man na ye atona sa ase dada be man no asini dan dada na ho ba ya onka ho eje se de wo ka ho se woto bra mo ware no kra still onka ho je se wo kire se ampa na wo so contribution wo say wa ho odin onu aduane o ma na sumdwe o ma na peace of mind and asa wo ye o sensuo ma workers no na o supervise for men no so anasa o sika wom enye saade a onka ho mo nche no super we very important na supreme court so che say oba bi ti na ware ho na sa ware enu no akọ Dubai ba China ba kofa niema ba ono akọkwan so kofa mayi nchene ntos omo mko ye jidamba edwei na ono akọpe na sase na oto ne dan ana osini dan a wo be ma na wo nan ka won sanka no ntumi be ka won se me ware no e na oba na ye ntimi be gibi first na sa no mo ye no se de court say no contribution no chop Supreme Court can see so de bi o say Ghana ye wo human rights, your constitution my obia human rights obia or rights or turn aside obia or rights or nya de japade the case we court na mama many 50% ye free na ko ware ampa cho botu nya boato say enye by force o kwa ye be ma o japade ni bi automatic pe wo de mo bia ampa ni de mumie num nim say ye mo de ano make sure say ya capture na say ye joint property ntina na no na me ma futu say we oba we be ma mo ko ware na ejapade mu nim se mumienu na mo ye ampacho ye ko register asase na ma yenya ne Mr and Mrs asumasi make sure say udin wo mle se court no say eno no be mu a na anu case bi o mo ye ado versus salote court no kan Supreme Court ka say se mo register edan no anase asase no wo mumienu mu di mu a eno ye one evidence e kire say ye mumienu mu dia nti eno na wari ja ya ba na ye se ye koche mu ndi obenya bi na emo wo ba ye na wo beto ye ana waba ena mwa asama wari ni mu no obia nkasa kope ne bosia no akwakoye na japade a onka ho we part 1 member part 2 latest case from Ghana Supreme Court say free necro awari for wari no muja awari a japade a ye che no enye 50-50.
Okay, so that was being leading to Chimwa or the buyer. Definitely, there are a whole lot of things and angles to this particular issue. Yantuaso, Minoka say Professor Frimpong Watson on the screen, so you realize say Bremo updates MP before the Krataba out and normal patches, but Panako can same be Amasan Semno Koka, because of that Omujinaso Asake and there and as Omujinaso is expelled from the party. This man was a person who even served in the former administration of the MPP, the former MPP administrator. In fact, he's a person who's revered and respected, a heart surgeon as such. But then our party, even though he was part of the party, Nema Bibre so MPP party, especially in regards with how a flag bearer race now, or party said the whole flag bearer race was rigged in favor of Baumia. I was also confessed that said the party is fake. Obia Babe Kasa one spare no cry. But before then, Nipo Babe Kasa or Chess Papa said be not dream Yareka Crow. But then yen tea in some more kind, a bit, no baby, a crabby na yen kosher response about Mia Campano or Monday Bass Papan or Pompeo. He is leaving the party.
You to do some work for it, would you do it?
Of course I'll do it for Ghana. And I've been doing that all the time.
Do you still consider yourself a member of the MPP?
Where the present MPP is not MPP, it's fake.
What?
Yeah. What I see now, it is not the MPP I used to know.
But the question still stands. Do you still consider yourself a member of the MPP?
Not the fake one.
So which one is the real one?
The real one is there. It's a virtual thing, and the members are there in the background.
You think that... I don't understand.
But look at how they elected their last flag bearer. You know, twist the arms of weak and.
This is for the 2024 election.
Yes, twist people's arms, bribing delegates, and intimidating others to get a flag bearer. You know, this is a beginning of corruption, and this should not be allowed.
Okay, so that was in summer Professor Frimpong Boateng Kaya and then our rante expulsion from the party about Umia campus. So I responded swiftly. Nipa bakwa on spare cry on the Odi Kanka say big and a dream, okay, and I said you yeah for fraction to Ken on your papa. In regards to answer no kind no kuka our message had the Professor Frimpong Boateng again now
or Kasa and or Kasa party near fake no evidence no. Prof Ayebi. Why Yebi? One of the best surgeons in Ghana. Why operations? Politics na anye yaman. Yariye yao. Yariye. Me sure say yariye. Dementia ba. Penimu wa yariye ben. Yariye wo ho. Nti munya abutre oye penimu. Why mo bi ani na tem. Wa kire na dwene men kasa ntia no. Munya yariye ya. Obi a wadi why surgeon. Or deputy minister, watch na jini, mo bi anka sentiano, yentie na supem, watch na jini, it's not a time to attack him. Munyano, yari ya, what ya say? Me, mi ya say, omodena ko yari fi, o mama ne free yari fi, no, about radio, so interview, can't say.
You have evidence to prove that?
They say, yari ya.
You have evidence to prove that?
Hey, ya. Me pacho, o kasa no kasa party ni fake, no evidence, no. Wash it. Papa no.
Okay, so in same way, and a cooker, a kind of man for you because over pay in some okay there. I know yes, shepa. But then this is a person I say be wound to me, any Baumia camp or a staunch member, the same person, a car second it upon you be not drink at the fraction to Ken on your papa. Now, in regards to this, no, this whole Professor Frimpong Boateng expulsion, a fact near the Adenom, and a year Solomon who is now with a year. The UP party, a Alanchamanti new party, no, and all party say, a choir, ye fast so Alanchamanti fee party, sana, ye a year or no Professor Frimpong Boateng so if he party. Now, or party, ye if he party, monk, I say party for do a while, they are ready to take him. Inti sama a year Solomon Wusu, editor to Babaka. We continue.
So, what should be done?
What should be done to Professor Frimpong Boateng? I have said that for Professor Frimpong Boateng.
Break away and come to you.
He is welcome to the United Party. Indeed, I will be very surprised that you continue to associate himself with a group of people who are just bent. The way they are destroying the party very fast. I'm very surprised. Sometimes if you want to destroy an entity, you do it gradually.
Okay.
These people are just fast-tracking everything. So from here, they will be moving to the Nyahotama Close, at Kennedy's, Amwaku Bans. We are welcoming all of them. In fact,
the General Secretary said, as for Nyaho 2016, his membership was revoked. That's what.
Say the General Secretary.
Yes.
The General Secretary who doesn't respect the laws of the party. Was it not the same General Secretary that signed that they should be they had granted everybody amnesty,
including you?
Oh, me as for that, they say forfeiture. We must apply and then come and attend an interview before they look into a matter.
You failed the interview. So you want a party? You failed the interview.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You failed the interview, so you don't go.
Rashid.
Okay. So same way and Professor Owusu Solomon Owusu editu job I say odi no kra na ye no kra na odi enye hwe afafranto UP party is ready to actually welcome him. Now in this same vein, Henry Anabuache Eddie Simbia Babetuja explaining why this particular person Professor Frimpong Boateng omuyi nefi party because who say in same way by and Professor Nyahotama Klu onu kra bekasa say onu so yin nefi party ama party for kra bekasa onu 2016 kra yin nefi mu na nye anyways yenko tie say na B or the two job because na B person papa we no why nema bebre atia party na it's high time I will see yin nefi so say ye ka say yin nefi party ni mu a is basically justified. Hinti in some of the two Babaka we continue.
Ohiniba a year Professor Frimpong Boateng Kata Yadiaba Abontin Obesha it should be yeah, Pio, Professor from Openia, Sabi, Yabunipa, and to Sabi, political party, and I manage, and we are in very difficult times. Very, very, very difficult times. You know, Emubaya ya say Obenyo Openia, when ya MPP from Faswapa. Na onono nenu ye bi ne nyema bi aboy fom awo kwan bebre so na enei Ghana force ye mrefi meji ahome no o sha gina bonten ana sebe o sa tutu abo e de ba eye political party ni mo ya ye di kan ba kan enche bia na o twen pen o di secret taso no kekan sembe brebe enim say the new patriotic party kwano ye pese ye wi abanimu edema Baumia na nano eye abaye ko ye koto ye a ye di nkugo no kwano ye mpa abadwako bia nyi hwehwemu enye hu ye ntie me hwe fom na political party no ya ye and was some and I took time. Me and Kasa, I get permission from General Secretary. I respond here. It's in the move of your party constitution. It's then Yentia. Yen the new patriotic party, national executives. Yen to me in Remu Obibiada. The elections will be free, fair, credible, and transparent. Eti ye na no ema asem kwa koda maintain na asem kwa mpobi na no ye ne ete se wasa kwa grant interview ene munuano ma omwo channel 1 TV benadafle ye busa ne se na odaso ye member of the new patriotic party sebe somewhere free na no more pop no eni nyai and some fatase be free penny awo when ya MPP so mfaso sabe se ko opposition and won chese party no e da fom kra debi sanse party ya ko opposition pen ya ko e de ba beji pumi pen e be sa akumbiem e sa de ajetumi se mo free no mba ne se oh MPP party there e fake se mo free no mba no fake. Also busa na say oh no remember no me no ye na ne kasa mu kire say onye obi a oye party member onye ba me no mi enu nyina begya to say ye ka amanehunu ebre abobo a nanado danko akufa do nya akukudo so obeko atia e galamsey na opa professor from Pinaxtv say ono na enkoda no na ba pay di hwamo na nyimo ye enu bi na NDC for say no bi dodo na NDC for fa no mo dey campaign bi tia papa no no se mo say excavator sa tikire kwa no atupu ayira ohu enu na ye dia campaign e dey tia MPP for the tape appear and a party pesika simple. Obianu me ya bi se kwaya papa ifa so a o so sa interministerial committee ya di ebra galamsia no papa di Ghana for hamo di MPP apanyamo eso ene onu anya simpia gina so sabi atutu yampia de political party when you so fa so die obi minister wom no any party for mo brel party wi obi na minister dis na ene wuti make party na bo so a good party no fin say dia na onye ba ayo obi na kuma boy sia kuna di niti kwaji atrema the political party ni fake dia then there's no need for you to be part of the political party. It's the leadership take steps. Say opening party ɔsi eyi fit no eyi ne film na ya dwen ho ya hye party yi amagana.
It's the same way, and it's just a bit too jam. There's a lot of reactions. No, and a yen and a b. Henry Nana Boache or Chim says a party. No, so what to say you see ye a year, Prof. If you party anymore, sape pepe because Prof. In Simbia Nancy on the Nama or Kafa MPP who and they are even citing said before elections, no, in some way, no kokaya yanum for adequate campaign can see pa ama in this 4-year campaign and no more bucking in Japan. So dear now, see, ama yama party no abo position na monja and dream and when you intimate fire kakrani and coming back stronger. Only nam and now cast a party new fake elections scrap ye no a bear rigged. O can sign symbol in your sebi obi jini election results ne ba. Sebu nipa ninjindi. But in this same vein, the question Henry Nana Boache should be asking himself is, you see, once on my fast, my ba out say, or my be espele papa, they should ask themselves, yet krum has say, and a bronye edit statement be two just say, or no, or your bono regional chairman, or be leading the party not to remove Kine Japan's name from the album. Ken Ekosubafoma obe lose the elections. And the question people are asking says, same way are not all king, and as I say my all in same way are the two are all king. Abronya Kayeno. Where was unknown Henry Nana Boache? When Abronya was making these kind of claims, unknown Henry Nana Boache, where was he? Yantine num kasa. Bene die akoyo obi a all kasa against Bawumia no die. Waba. Oba be kasa. Obey the dirty job for Bawumia, and this is one of the many reasons Ama MPP Sebu party na tanya Sebu Ojo Hokra won't you don't even know whatever is really going on. We will come back to this issue at the appropriate time. Yesterday, it's here for another update about Mamiwe Sedinam Tamaklu. Now, we told you that this particular woman, she has been arrested by ICE, that's Immigration Custom Enforcement, or US, basically for various reasons. Now, one of the reasons are original so they are channel corruption-related activities and how Ghana buying their sending extradition requests way back in 2024. July, say woman we you put the force we are Ghana sika over 70 million Ghana cedis. Ebra na oye Maslock, okay, Maslock for CEO akantamanto share Mahama Emma iska so on fan koma dwedi for no or pocketi iska no edibi an assistant to ye jeli omo baako ewo in Sawan prisons. Woman we no ebra in semne kwaso ye che na ye di ni case no or court say ye man mre no nkwa buchin kwa jararisa because no issues be with no ho or wan baby Emma court trying in absentia. Woman we me no ka say no after so many years, almost 2 years no one back she's been in Ghana somewhere 2017, okay? So all this while almost 9 years no on back Ghana da be mahama eba no menuka say true pressure no woman ya kwache no now menuka say sa woman ya kwache no information aba ama sa information we aba no kamia kwa se ebimu eni enje ho one person na oye anti-corruption crusader oba kromo efe lawyer Martin Pebu or the same bia ba betuja or party say woman we ache no all right but then ono woman oye mistake adna woman ye mistake or party say woman ye mistake because number one oye NDC ni yacho NDC ni ayacho no ebra yacho no NDC ni ayabukun for say bio we disika. Fine, one back room ben siano unipa ba now party member president. Into no sa woman we no said nam tamakulu o you be anko beba Ghana. No ba Ghana ko beti mini sebi mahama kasa. Na empo inse sanko be serve more jail term no. Nka se beti mama na serve maybe 1 or 2 years na mahama pardon no. And I'm for business say wait. Is that lawyer Martin Pebu? What happened? Lawyer Martin Pebu na oka same way sa okay inti sabio eye woman we they are fine ono dey bit ma pardon no be Ofori-Atta dey enche no really okay so clearly what is good for the goose is not good for the ganges and definitely this has really amount of people are disappointed in this particular in summer if a year teaching and a lawyer just say or yeah very popular or kasapa amount for bonus say hey utimi kasa say woman yanko so ben tem na ma pardon, which means you guys are not even being faithful to the country. You think somebody to back I more.
To be honest, Ferdinand so when the NDC won, I thought she would have quickly come back because look, a plain truth is that when because she's a high-profile person, should have gotten better treatment in the prisons. So for me, the moment NDC won, I was like, when this woman come down quickly, come and serve some years, maybe 3 years, and then the president will pardon her. So for all the time she kept staying there, I kept wondering, I was like, really? What's going amiss? Because your party is in office. We are not hiding it. Because her party is in office, she'll get better treatment in the prisons. Well, look, I mean, it's not everything we can say on air. But that would have been the best time to serve. So that you stay in 3 years. 3 years, when the president grants you pardon, not many people will make noise about it because once you serve 3 years, it's okay. And let's not.
It's in some way na lawyer Martin people can say, oh, ka woman no mistake or na miscalculation or here is because Obagana. Now ka serve just 3 years, but 3 years no ka wan serve. Even 3 years no ka serve. Be man the better treatment. Is a prison or one no serve you a bungalow, fridge, everything. And your serve kakra na ya man eye. Na man for part say this is not law because basically obi see there was a story that me text so. Obi we are Pragia. Ya man 20 years in jail. Pragia, okuta 10,000 cedis obenya Pragia. Yamani 20 years in jail. Now obi etimisho they was so NDC pocketed or Stadium Tamaklu pocketed 70 million meant for traders who were victims of the Cantonment fire. 70 million. And you're telling me so back Chroma 3 years pe yamani better treatment. I mean far from that crown. Jail no be jail in the crown. Be like luxury jail. And I'm say no, this is not law. We did one. What is the sugar coating and then the misinterpretation of all of this? Regardless, Ambassador Victor Smith, who is Ghana's ambassador to the United States of America, or also or the Nsembia Babe to just say, information number so yet sa woman way your friend is saying the same time yet a year can no. It is really quite possible. We must say no cre, but then also no there are issues at a so or there are issues at all parties said these issues no and I'm so Emma a year President Donald Trump a year Nkrofu Omukwache sa said na tamakuli yenko tie nsema a year Ambassador Victor Smith who is now Trump's favorite buddy or the Chujoy Babaka. We will definitely continue with this particular update because Obifu Froso Ababe Kasa.
And just before I let you go, how many Ghanaians are in detention center and what are their current state based on your visit?
Well, the detention center where I visited, there were 11 Ghanaians, 1 lady, and 10 guys. In total, under ICE arrest, we have a figure at the last count, it was 193 Ghanaians. And I think they keep, deporting them as and when they meet the judge and they don't have much of a case, and then there's a ruling, they are taken out, on the next available arrangement.
But health-wise, are they okay? Are they kept in a safe place?
Oh, yeah. I saw it myself. I went to as far as the dormitories where they were being kept. I went to the medical facilities for them. Very clean environment. They did not complain about any health issues. They just were not happy, of course, being in a cell, like a prison. They didn't like it. But they had come in illegally through unapproved routes, and then they got caught up with the law. There isn't much we can do for them.
So that was in Sema Ambassador Victor Smith Edituja. Now one person saw no Swababe Kasa Dominic Ayina. According to Dominic Ayina, he's spilling more details about the arrest of Sedna Tamakulu and also Ken Ofori-Atta, and he's giving us a deep insight. Say, somewhere Koso Abaya Chiwe. He can vehemently say on authority say, Kamia say there Sedna Tamakulu. It was that same day that same day, and Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, it is very much alarming because Kamya Koye said the tradition request for these two people, it had really got into the extent, say, Ebia, buying and a Trump administration, they've taken note of it. So perhaps, if they were in the country illegally, and even if they were there illegally, they could use this as a case study and as a case, they've been convicted. Remember, I said they don't have a pending court case. They have been convicted of a criminal act, stealing. And even if they have permanent residency, it is void. To say I cancel the why you need to I cancel permanent residency and our green card. You go to some Dominic Ayini, editor, that's Attorney General, or party say Obitima is to say in all of these things, we should be expecting these two people in the country very soon. In the video, we are Babaka.
Will he be brought to Ghana? Here and now at 5 minutes to 8. What do you know? He be brought yesterday. We saw a news item.
Yes, he will be. He will be. Look, I mean, the possibility is very high. And he could either self-deport or face, deportation by the immigration judge on January 20th. Yes. So after the hearing, we will get to know what orders the judge made regarding his immigration status. But it's more serious than I have put out. But
it's more serious.
But at the appropriate time, I don't want to announce. But
what scoop can you give? Because you owe it to Ghanaians to just give us a wind. How serious is this?
No, it's very serious. It's very serious. It's more serious than I have divulged at this point in time. So at this point, it will stay at a level of my briefing the president.
How will you ensure that due process for somebody like Ken Ofori-Atta, a statesman, a former finance minister, whom you've urged to come home and recuperate? Those were your words.
Yes.
How will you ensure that due process is followed? Because many feel that, well, you are going after he can be tried in absentia. So why the rush?
No, but he can be tried in absentia. All right, that is true. But it is better when he comes to to answer, when he's here physically present and made to answer for whatever charges have been leveled against him by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And I also mentioned that there are other investigations that are going on. So it's not only the SML investigation, which has been conducted by the OSP, that links Ken Ofori-Atta to issues of accountability or alleged acts of criminality. There are other investigations that I am undertaking, that will be announced at the appropriate time.
Still on his person?
Yes. And for transactions linked to him. So
because we heard from his legal team, and you said that they are in touch with you in your interview on Newsfile on Joy FM, you mentioned it. But his legal team calls the U.S. detention an ambush, tied to medical treatment, because we know the clinic that he is at. While Ghana is also insisting he's a fugitive, where do we draw the line between health rights and evading maybe a corruption probe?
Well, you have the right, to take access health facilities to take care of yourself, because you have the right to life. And if you do not take care of your physical health, all right, that can imperil your life as a person. So yes, Ken Ofori-Atta has his right to health. However, all right, he also owes it to the people of this country, having held an office of public trust, okay, to answer for his actions in that office. If he's innocent, he'll be acquitted and discharged by the courts of this country. All right, and Article 19 of the Constitution guarantees his right to a fair trial. And I have said, and I want to repeat it here, that I will not superintend a system that will run the fair trial rights of anyone.
And you stand by this?
And I stand by it. I will not in any way imperil his right to a fair trial.
Okay. In some way, and a year, Dominic Ayini or the Tuja or Chichimu, some of the things which have happened and some of the Nema Apostle, according to him, Obitimaka said, based on the things that Ekosono, if or no, Kasebu or your Ofori-Atta, and Quebec Ofori-Atta said, onye the Bonifen self deportation because at the Oba better, but one banner say Jania at the end of the day, no, it makes your case even worse, and things are not really as a Nyama and Kuyi Emma. So that is exactly what is really going on. And therefore, you've been moving on to other matters because Minoka say in Presec, one of the best schools in this country, Presbyterian boys, Kamiako say Yanum for a Meki. Yes, certain allegations about Preseka, we actually need to talk about it. Now, the reason why this particular allegations, it is coming at this particular crucial time. I didn't know Presek for Subowi. So we'll get into that particular bit. Presbyterian Boys Senior High School, Presek, I from Modadi, they've won the National Science and Math Quiz several times. Currently, Omuno Magic Trophy more times. A very good school, boys school. But now, no broadcaster say what I mean. Kamiako say behind the scenes of a show, no before Beko show na all your life, TikTok live near the day, and then say arguments and I say some talking about Presek ebe tuja, and all na no tum say Presek is here say because sebi you see no one more no subai near omu day dinner Kamiako say omu ye kujo bisia lifestyle. Na sense no. Honestly, I know be breed. I'm a saying a lot of people are talking about it. Now, share the video involved. Say what I may hear and make these kind of statements. I say I heard think of be breed and even prompting Ghana say Nansia as a SHS curriculum LGBTQ nyama does it imply say these things are really going on? In fact, okay, video you have two screens. You could see this guy showing some mannerism. This is Preseko. I've been to Preseko several times because school are crash. So we used to go there for interco any other day. And yes, no more it is very weird the way they are doing themselves. We just say look at this. As a imba feminism but then say what I may have believe say this is actually going on and even I say a Presek na a boys school no imba and then Bemonom call say be omu show kojo bisia lifestyle. Yenko tie somebody to sparking all of this conversation. Yeah, Babaka, we will definitely continue and dive into this particular issues a few way more ever. And even if this is true or if this is not true, what is really going on? Because more people want to know. Presek and Kasankasano, what again so as I say na because then I say what me I say school Presek need you massa. Right now, I tend like massa gay for and I say could you be here for and I say omo pack omo either akugu yenti in sema say what me here edit to Babaka. We will definitely dive more into this particular developing story. Man for be bread omode omano ababeto san same way. So quickly let's go and watch this particular update and then sema say what me here ekaya aspake this will
I present here for wow present na get for present no mu be ye omu ye NSMQ na wom na boys no that omu brewing ground for homosexuality. Present no, you are lying. Let me say this one. See, present no. Yes, listen, it is a big fat lie. Oh, Masafio, is it not true? I went to Presek. Am I gay? No, you are not. And I know a million people in Presek who are not. And you also know a million people who are gay. I don't know a million. Okay, no thousands. A few months ago, you suspended some of them, right? No, I'm not aware. Please be honest. See, even in mixed schools, there are gays there. So what's the problem? We agree, but right now it is Presek we are talking about. No, we can't talk about Presek. Even in other mixed schools, I won't mention names, but there are a lot of mixed schools where the girls are there, the boys are there, but people are everywhere they are there. We admit, even in churches, you find them. Exactly. Churches, sometimes even the priests' children. Yes. That in churches, so please, at the courts, it is a wrong impression in schools, that everywhere you find them. Gays, no, please. I'm sorry. Even I'm sure even in this office, yes. There are people in the media, but they are there. We're back in this office. In this office, no, but at Presek, yeah. But Presek, you do screening well. Oh, no, I'm taking us out.
Okay, so that was in summer. Yes, I mean, here can I generated all of this controversy. But then, in this same gay issue, one person also called Presec, Kojo Sheldon. Kamia kwese wakokasa amaneni ataneni into. Now, Kojo Sheldon posted something on social media. Suggests that the transport minister, a friend, Madam Dorcas Afotofe, or party say, ye can the West Ministers amami or Kahubi. Na Kamia kwese sansemi obeka yeno. Wako touch the nemesis and wako touch the balls of the nemesis and a nipa on a new kun. Nipa meka na asemi Kevin Taylor. Enya asem keto akra. Yenti nsema Kevin Taylor response or the mai.
Your friend Kojo Sheldon. This is a boy otite resting and I say Woodbridge Habibi. He lives in a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom place like that. Now, what they are doing is say the NPP people only be Amasa boys whisker. And now they want to find a way to start their Vicky Hammer strategy again. They have decided to pick on this lady who is the deputy transport minister, Dorcas Afotofe. You know, say I don't normally talk about Kojo Sheldon because I see him to be one of the daftest fool on social media. Somebody who cannot construct 4 sentences without jumping into pidgin. He is not intellectually sound to be discussed. But I feel, say, because they are leading an agenda to pick on some woman and deliberately do what they did in the past, you know, I am also going to draw the line, pick on him, pick on his wife, because it's so easy. Say right now, to America, right now, we all know everybody's status in America. And Donald Trump, amana easy. We all know, say, Otikro mama Spanish nibi edini yere eme de akore bi ahye no in his head no wa ware America ni ba American. We are here. Now, for them to come together to say, you know, transport won sama ba atwe wo Ghana. But for some reason, when you go on Twitter, there are some dirty boys over contracting among these NPP people because of the way this woman looks, how she has conducted herself and carried herself. They have decided to pick on her because they think it's an easy sport. Now, what I want to say is say, for a long time, we gave these young boys, at least they nimuno, but we can also go after them and let them feel the heat, you know. It's about time we made it clear, say, we are also going to take it to them and their wives and their kids. Because you have seen, say, they want to turn this social media thing into, oh, you're supported by Umia, me supported by Umia, we need to find a way to victimize people. The issue with transport in Ghana did not start today. There is a transport minister and there's a deputy. But for some reason, Kojo Sheldon na ne tweet was a petuo ayase no. Be man ho tantan se de ya boni dua fa na se. A dirty fool who has gotten some dirty woman here in America to stay with. And Argentinian say, aha, a territory. So arresting will say, Woodbridge now to tell we will take it to you. We are going to make it dirty and murkier. Senebeya, you will not be comfortable in this country. And when I say comfortable, the same way you are using social media to bully people, we will take the social media to you. And you see, this country, it do that point, we are not going to entertain foolishness again. You can stay in Ghana and fool. It's okay. And if it be Connecticut, we will make sure they burn from inside. And I had to say it's a deliberate thing. Now, what did this woman do? The first thing you say, transport won't send Samaba. And people are talking. Accra, Nipa Nyakamfo. Now, this woman's only mistake she did was she came on her own Facebook, on her Twitter, and tweeted, say, with renewed resolve and a clear sense of duty, we serve our nation with discipline, courage, and unwavering commitment. Guided by the mandate of the people, we remain resolute in working decisively and collectively to advance national progress, uplift lives, and strengthen our motherland. Basically, this order the woman said. Now, what the Bawumia Bulu Fuono are doing in the say, and I am not saying the roads minister, the transport minister is not working, but what they want to do is say, because of how this woman looks, they want to find a way to victimize her like the same way they did to Vicky Hammer. Inti Oma gange up on Twitter, and this could just shout them boy, or ferry crosser or didn't you any match Obana or done chino. Because onim say in memomne obana dados inti oferisa or the obana ni matchreye. Obana or de China Spanish ni na wona or ni ti krom ha. Kwasia or ti 1 bedroom die mua. Debia or te curtains or te window enim. On to me sorry any video or the dem. Because a dana or your video and one of them. Jimmy Sano, they have gathered some boys on Twitter. Hey, this also member kwasia wedding. But I'm going to take from today, it's going to be murky. It's going to be dirty. From today, it's going to be dirty. Whoever is on Kojo Sheldon's platform is going to take this. We are going to enter your homes. I will start with Kojo Sheldon himself. Obeto paper ukroma wako bunko for Ghana beto paper ukroma say obe ware ukroma ha enti obe ya American citizen. Oh, what the was some mobo say kura. Who Kojo Sheldon? O yire na or Eddie Uma committed a crime. No, what's some your mobile say kura? Can Ofori-Atta Kofi? Or what's some a mobile say kura? So this hardworking deputy transport minister, they started picking on her. Oko Twitter, let's go insult her. But there's a transport minister. If you even have a problem with the transport ministry, at the end of the day, who are you supposed to basically question if we are having issues with transport in Ghana? You go to shout the minimum address, minimum number. The right people will come to you, and you need to state why some of the things you did. Refugees, and I'm going to say $100, $200, a year for a reform, and you think you can do the same thing because when politicians in Kwasiaphobia, a real thing, a dirty riffraff like you think you can sit on Twitter with some dirty boys and girls to intimidate this woman. John Mahama, the reason here Oyi woman way as a deputy to the minister. Now, say about what is happening today in Ghana about transportation and the Ubia air kanwasem. It is a big deal. And it didn't start, the problem didn't start today. And the problem has so many branches. Branches in the GPRTU. Branches in the government. Branches in the drivers' attitude. Branches in the they read the citizenry. So when it comes to transportation, it is not something we will sit here and say, we are going to delve into the matter. This woman has worked hard. In less than a year, Mami Way left her family, her beautiful family, who are better than you. This woman left the shores of Ghana in the early days of John Mahama's government. Flew all the way outside to go and negotiate for buses. Kwasia, adene kufu adomo, omu free power, udu kwasia babaha, abati tetedem, oba otetedem, ote curtains echi, 1799 curtains. Blind na oti enim na oye video. Kwasia, o sorry, what so phone esi uso, o use America da form. Mami we jane ma, ene ne busia ho, ena ofu plane. Se plane ko to no twene yanka kwasia te se wo, anka wo Spanish ni edi wo yire. Spanish ni edi wo yire. Se wo girl so wo yire no, wo be kirem aboa. Oja we to go and negotiate, talk about vehicles, buses to come and save Omameno Papa Kwasiafo Busiafo no Ghana no. We Busiafo Kwasiafo no Ghana no. Se bigu an Kwasiafo no. She went out there, risk her life to do what? To go get buses for Kwasiate Sawo. And then some Kwasiafo no to a platform no so no. Who fin aimless people no guso no. I can take care of them till they die. Plus you. Then you think that it is easy to pick on somebody because Kwasiebi in politics is telling you do this. Now who guys are supported by Omia or platform no ni papa minesi wono. O the day I cast all your MPP ni or platform the papa no. O platform the focus ne den. We are di way. We anyway nya fine. We are chi we car. We do Jimmy for. Na go fast answer for be go so. O platform ne papa ni si wono. Now this woman had to travel out of Ghana, stay out of Ghana, go and visit companies that are building buses. Omubetumi dia ba eye Ghana. Ekufuado ne ba omiankwasiafo tina Ghana 8 years. They did not retool our transport sector once. Can you show me one video of Ekufuado retooling the transport sector? You foolish dirty boys and girls who go to it. You don't have any work to do. And then you sit there and you start to talk like Marjorie Nyejuma. This one, and this is what she did. She was out of this station. She went all the way out there, Metro Mass, to receive more than 350 new buses in February 2026. They went out there to go negotiate. These are people who are proactive. Mami we eja na yire ne ma ene ne busia ho afu plane. Na abofu no ohwo ahu fin na oda ha di jantre ni. Ohwo ahu fin na odi jantre ni okurom ha. Okwa na obi abeda saage no so. Aboa wawo usori kwa DNA. O pesa obeka kurom anti. Wama obi abedi jantre ni ma also oba. You people want us to do this, we will do this from now. If you people want us to go this way, we will go this way. And this way is going to be murky and dirtier. On Twitter, no. This woman, this is what she did. And she did it because Yena Yasumano.
So these are the new buses coming in very soon. We are here in Cairo to inspect, make sure that everything is intact. And truly, we are very happy with what we are seeing. So very soon, it's coming to Ghana, and we are very happy. The resetting agenda for His Excellency the President is on. About 300 pieces coming. So Ghanaians, get ready for Metro Buy.
Foolish boy. Wasiade de Kufuado every pound abese obebo jantra betina. Na mejin se betina Ghana millions. This is what people are doing, putting their lives on the line.
Okay, so that was Kevin Taylor. Just he is definitely going in and all out with Kujo Sheldon. Therefore, Sabra Minuka say Kamia say Mahama will be getting a competition. Now Mahama uncle third thing, but then if Mahama doesn't go again, which we know so Uncle B, the likes of a Sidin Kitia, the likes of Atofos, the likes of Harry Nedus, the likes of Jenano Pukwajma, the likes of Kujuta Blakwa, the likes of Joshua Alabi, the likes of any person. And now one more person will contest as flag bearer, and they will have someone to contest with because and then we say no. Oliver Bakavomo of Fix the Country announces say he will be running for office in 2028. Now, mind you, we don't know position of running for, but because of running for office, usually in a president and I say be a member of parliament, but we don't know position of running for. Would he be running to be the NDC flag bearer? Because he aligns more with the National Democratic Congress. Okay? So we don't know if that's the case, so will he be running to be a president? A flag bearer and ultimately be a president. And I say he will be going and contesting as an independent candidate for CPP, Cheddar's Party, or UP Party. We don't know. But clearly, this is a person who terrorized the New Patriotic Party in the first term would Fix the Country demonstration, always hitting hard at the government. You see, Banner what announces say he wants to contest for power. It is something that ultimately, I believe, say Obia the air share. So we are looking at this, and ultimately, in some way, air share, we believe at the right time, better things will happen. Now, in that same vein, too, you're moving on to the camp of Malik Basanteli because Minoka say Malik Basanteli. We all knew say issues, not issues, and so it was even reported last year. Say you winning at the end of the day, because only land na or share as purported by some people like Abron. He was in Ghana, but then now saying all these were not okay. He being the YA CEO, but now saying money who say. All of these things are equal. So I could PM when the Jumum YE and so we resume worker. In some of the two journalists say, yeah, ready will be into our area and news. And we are learning say how to do with some spinal injury ni ade but me no ka sisi no Black Rasta din same bia ba betu just say sanka bibi to apa yi anka Ghana e be hwe ade pa because there are people who are willing to die if Malik Basintali dies, and this is a very strong statement in sema Black Rasta Eddie Tujeba better also with other updates.
I'm sure that a lot of young men would have gone totally bankrupt if Malik Basintali did not return. I'm sure a lot of them would have followed him to an early grave. Basintali has been able to court a lot of love from the youth. He looked like enemies were excited. Oh, he had a stroke. He had been flown to South Africa, to London. The stories kept coming. In fact, I got so worried. I tried to call Malik a couple of times. The line did not go through. Then it went unanswered. All I needed to do at the time was to say a prayer for a brother. When finally he answered after a number of days, he told me point blank, yes, Black, I have been sick and I am recuperating. I will soon return. Please support me with prayer. I said, okay. At this point, there was no need to ask whether it was a stroke, a headache, malaria, or bilharzia. My brother, my sister, we just decided to pray. And time after time, I went around his outfit. My brother, my sister, yes, the Youth Employment Agency, YEA. Oh, and I saw the youth also confused. A lot of them there. Many of those I spoke to told me that somebody had used juju on Malik Basintali and that they were going to undo the juju. My brother, my sister, after hearing this, it hit me very hard. I called Malik again. A couple of days later, I asked my brother, I am your brother. Tell me, are you down with a stroke? He said, no, sir, nothing like that. I just have some waist pain right now. The worst is over. It's just a waist pain I have right now. I rode bikes all over. So I think that is having a big toll on me. I said, as long as it's not a stroke, even if it was a stroke, please, we will continue to pray for you. Seek medical attention. Of course, when he finally returned yesterday, in fact, before he returned, I called him and he told me, Black Rasta, I am returning. I said, wow. This was not the first time he said he was returning and he didn't come. This time round, he made it. And when he came, the whole YEA went alive again. People like this, it's not easy to replace them. And I want to thank the president for his patience, that he made sure that the deputies worked very hard whilst Malik was away recuperating. And I like the message Malik has put out. He said anybody can be sick. It doesn't take the mighty to stay alive or to stay without any sickness. According to him, it's Allah who decides who should get sick and who should die. Of course, this is what Islam believes in. Anything that happens to a man was actually permitted by Allah, or else it will never happen.
Okay, so this was in summer a year Black Rasta Eddie Tuja. But apart from that too, there are some people within the political space, specifically a year Mahmoud Kabore, who happened to be a year the spokesperson for the Lands and Resources Minister. And Odiababe Tuja said, you know, all of these things are air questionable. Obetimaka said MPP within some few years from the party will collapse. Basically, CPP Krabejidin as in MPP. Remember, this is the last update, so you not hear from me again. Take what things or the Etuja.
Can't tell miracle about Jano Dr. Mahmoud Bamia. Bekache and say, see the new and 16.517. Oh, Bekache say this in a while Bamua. In Kia the Beko 25 to 30 cities. Obin can't tell miracle say, see the new swap at 10 point something. Now, when you know it's no, and that's why fresh way trim son or Paco Homa. Enti whether we go primary so, we go primary so we are. This is the reality.
Okasana
ma we be able here for example chire we mwofa.
Okasana ma dwebe si bibi so about Ayalolo. Ayalolo ba no mo say maame Lodina Mahamadia. Ai. E ka ho asem aye bibia ni nyina na Ayalolo aguya.
Papa e betina ho mfie wotwe. Wantimi kura amfa ka taya nka Ayalolo ho. And e yi we de awusu. Not where they. Obia na ofa se bi o se no ofa kura o tie kurasi na wato 207 million ama no na mfie nwotwe wantumi antoti kokura nka ho a wada to akọ we ama na tena ho no that is that, but they be so to about based on behavioral and na mo owura ba omi so mrantie bi say 10 seasons of Canada Japan afa no mo kai ha owura Canada Japan eto e mape e okrum hanom Sasanti kasi sebe obi adi oba atwasere temu a sese wodi oba ne ba adi na temu sebe ye kurom ha de ye Samsung ye tie dware sa but ya mamra ne ya mane ebi wo ho a
we protect it with all our heart and with all our might. Say the beya, yen say the moral fabric of your manual or more bachelor. Now continue TV so did matter. And they say motu you know about me near economy just a mobile thank mobile fan series pachawa no crano. Why never pen say yen san fa no to petrol 120 cedi per gallon. You want the Kennedy so ba just a muko team man na so ko pacho. Muria moko team so fo nyina so ko pacho. Muria moko team centrefo nyina so ko pacho because no dey ameswali fo nyin ko to so Bible says in tidu an dey beba. Na mum ne nam no so beba no wonye den. Onwie ebia ko anfa ko to so ka slab advantage but the fact on dey ko to so nam so man wo ye no dey ye yi free mu anye ye
okay
afi ukofa owura Brian Champion ba chabe akwo no dey kamabunu na abatu a ye ko to 2020 nsem bi okeka ya kire say personality behavioral offer leader bia ni ho a wose wona ye keka ye hand over ne ye hand over china we na wuti ko pipiase e da nyamiase adan ya wotimi awini abitifisit akufo ado ne ba mia 1.7 million gab no dem fa ho bi so na aka say you hand over your first assignment as a nipa or man nyina the assignment ma was a deputy minister of national security I didn't know when I also was wogo oko fa double mu free secret tire kura na ochiro obi tire to na otwemi enu ko hunu to oko kire double mu tuo se de etutuo na otwemi enu pe na tam tuo so o monsam so mo kwa ya was wogo ko e by election ni party mi koto no aboni ni ekoto dwemu tuo how people have got amputated how people have not survived Branchampo woni hobi and then you want to become the leader of the entire nation one ministry koneko go be want me you want to become a minister of the entire nation yeah you crowd ko agreg there agreg was growing in the negatives okay now planting for food and jobs so your friend say fertilizer near more for koto say mo buy na say afrumu afa de ko Burkina afrumu so nte Ghana for kasa and what they say we explanation the break Ghana for na me bra peni e wo back say katasi se project kan do kura ban na otwa mu say no koboa yesi me yanka because ye nchi obi antu.
All right, me da say
e wona afi me da say ti over kwabuna je na bia come over do tum no mu nanka omo pe bibia ye omo so half time you kura amfamo no for kwabuna je say be ye be si uzu anka se oma wa bra wa no wa bro kura na ye you free party no mu na ne ya wa no bro wuo o ka enhunu mpo na soa na wo be da akwakodi mampani ama na ye ti wo mo ko ye eye sebe party ni gu ne bo pani ba ko a ebe gu woni tri so ni aka say wo pa so e na mpipi gu na say ti bi say sa fans ne de mo of Thompson mu na beje say ti bi a go Thompson contest